So do you remember OnlyJayus? Yes, this content creator right here. When I first saw this person's name pop up on my timeline a week ago, I thought, oh my god, have I time traveled back to 2020? Please say it's not the truth. I don't want to go back to that year, ladies and gentlemen. Don't make me go back there. But unfortunately, we're having to go back there today because there is some serious stuff going on right now on TikTok that you guys have been begging me to talk about, and I've looked into it, and this whole thing genuinely is one of the most wild things that I've seen in a while, and I genuinely didn't expect to see it. As I said, OnlyJayus 2020 a long time ago. OnlyJayus nowadays has been dubbed as the most hated content creator on TikTok, and I don't say that in a derogatory way. I say that in a, that's kind of how I've known them for a very, very long time. I've got no skin in the game here, don't really have any affiliation whatsoever, but that's kind of what I know OnlyJayus as. They are a very well-documented content creator, and that's why it confused me that after everything, more has come out, and yeah, it's all to do with previous allegations made years ago and a lot of beef between two previous people that were once convening in a relationship. I don't know why I made it sound like that way. They were in a relationship, and now there's a lot being said. There's been a lot of allegations and a lot of rebuttals to rebuttal serious allegations. And what I've decided that I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to chronologically go through this entire timeline in this new format that I've been doing recently, whilst also having a script next to me, so at the same time I can give live reactions whilst also giving a scripted thing where I've gone through and done all of my research before going into this little format, which I have been doing more recently, more nonchalant and less scripted, but I feel like it's important to have done research and have a lot of the facts whilst going into this timeline chronologically. And the reason I feel like it's best to do it in this way is because, well, there's a lot of videos and I've got a lot of raw reactions that I want to give to those videos. And honestly, given the way this story is developing so quickly, I feel like this format is just the best way to get into it. So yes, please relax and enjoy. Well, don't relax and enjoy yourself. It's a serious situation, people, but please sit down and enjoy it as much as you can. Please subscribe because only 50% of you are. In fact, sometimes it's 48%. Sometimes it doesn't. It changes here and there on the stats. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And yes, without further ado, let's get into things. So yes, right now, these two individuals are at war with each other, and the internet is asking a lot of questions of who is ultimately in the right here. People seem genuinely really confused to what's going on, and I'm not going to say that I'm the person that's going to magically change your mind and decide who's right here, but I feel like us going through everything chronologically is going to help us. So yeah, this is Mattie Westbrook, and this is OnlyJayus. They are two massive content creators that a long time ago, a few years ago, were in an active relationship until they mysteriously broke up. Yes, like all couples do on the internet, it went down in flames. If I have any advice to my content creator peers, don't poo where you eat. You know, don't do that. Don't, because it's not worth it. I've seen it too many times. It always goes into terrible, terrible places. It's not me justifying what's happened here, but I'm saying, how many times have you seen a content creator date another content creator without it ending horribly and the two just hating each other? Not necessarily allegations related all the time, but just there's always seems to be something. And yeah, it led to something. Because yeah, OnlyJayus in 2023 uploaded this video right here. And in it, pretty much what she's doing is she's just reflecting over a previous situation involving a certain ex-partner, i.e. Mattie.
4-month anniversary of this roller coaster I've been on.
Please don't swear like that in my YouTube videos. Some of us actually want to get monetized.
Being broken up with and not being told why. In that time, I eventually did learn the truth. I got cheated on.
So this is the claim number one here, that OnlyJayus was cheated on.
It's my fucking life, but it kind of blew up a little bit. But because I'm me, and my ex is my ex, the response so far has been, I don't believe you, which honestly,
again, this is going to be something that comes up. A lot of people don't believe OnlyJayus, and that does come from the fact that in 2023 and honestly in 2026 now, OnlyJayus, she has a pretty terrible reputation for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, there's been racism, there's been plagiarism allegation, there's been a lot of stuff with Jayus, and yeah, people aren't a fan. And I'm not saying these things to be like derogatory. This video is solely based on this topic, but at the end of the day, her reputation has not helped her over the years in terms of people believing her about her personal stories. And this is another case of that. People at the time didn't necessarily believe JS. And in fact, some people believed that she was the one to have actually cheated on Mattie.
Valid. I didn't believe it myself. It took a very long time for me to understand that this actually happened. But in the time of getting broken up with and learning why I got broken up with, they posted a lot of very cryptic videos where they admit it before they ever admitted it, you know? And people started pointing that out after I posted my video, and they deleted them. But I saved them, along with a few other videos from our relationship, which, looking back now, are ironic as fuck.
Stop swearing, man. Stop it. I don't know what it is with creators from LA where they have to say the F word in every single sentence. And I'm not talking about the F slur. I'm talking about that one. Like, why? Come on, we don't have to say it in every word. Some of us want our videos to not get age restricted.
Before I go and share this, though, I just want to say, do not go and send hate to anybody. No internet dogpiling.
I hate it when content creators do this. Like, obviously, dogpiling is bad and encouraging not to do these things is bad. But, like, if you're going to make a video where you accuse your partner of cheating, I feel like, look, again, maybe I'm nitpicking here, but I do find it funny when they're like, I'm making these claims, I'm calling you a terrible person. Don't hate. And it's like, I mean, your video is, it's going to lead to, you know, I mean, again, I'm nitpicking here, but it is always very entertaining when people are making these types of videos. And by the way, there's not at this point much evidence to prove what is being said here. I should let you know in later videos, it is proven that JS is in the right here. But alas, right now, it's just funny, all right? This is the lightest part of the video. Allow me to have some jokes before we get to the serious stuff.
Fair? This whole situation isn't fair, but like, I've been through that, and it's a nightmare that I would not wish on anybody, especially somebody that in a very fucked up way I still love and care about. Just don't do it, okay? I just
sorry. I'm laughing I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's not funny. This is a 3-year-old video, man. Give me a break.
I keep reading the rumors that I'm the one that fucked this up, because and to everybody that is already saying that I deserve to be cheated on because of the controversy that surrounds me, just know that you sound like somebody that would also go and shatter somebody else's sense of safety.
The only person's sense of love and trust that I would shatter are my audiences right now when I tell you this is pointless. Like, I don't care. Like, this part, again, it's beneficial to the timeline, but at the end of the day, right now, I don't care about this. I know there are a lot of people that care about this cheating stuff. Given the context of what has come after it, I just don't really care. But as I said, we need to go through the entire timeline. And yes, eventually, Mattie put out their response to this on YouTube Shorts of all places. I had to scroll quite a while to find this. And yeah, let's take a look. Now, obviously, I've gone through this. It's a pretty bad response, I can't lie to you. The first video was also pretty bad. It's very, like, I don't know. It's very, very drama of two younger people who clearly don't have much going on. Again, I'm not like dismissing they can't be upset or angry at each other, but it very much back then felt very, I don't know what the word is, just high school drama. That's ironically enough, given what we're going to get into, it felt very high school drama.
Okay, so I was just sitting here trying to crochet this bunny.
Well, first off, let's not do the nonchalant gimmick. Let's not do this nonchalant gimmick of I'm just doing some sewing. All right, you're cool, I get it, you can sew, but I don't need to know that right now. You're responding to cheating allegations. Again, not really that big of a deal, but I'm almost more frustrated at you doing this nonchalant gimmick, because I know you're angry. I know you're fuming. You've done a video titled My...
Sailing.
Oh, no, what?
Okay.
Don't know what that was. You've done a video titled My Side. This is going to be very serious. Let's not do the nonchalant gimmick right now.
Okay, so I was just sitting here trying to crochet this bunny that's turned out to look like a piece of binder paper, when I really had no idea why I was still getting so many comments about my past.
You did have an idea. Let's not lie to ourselves here. You saw your ex made a video about you. Come on, nonchalant gimmick. We're not going with it.
Relationship. And it's because I had no idea y'all were that invested. And
you are a content creator with 5 million followers. Obviously, people are going to be invested. Again, I feel like I'm being too brutal here, but from my research, as we're going to get further and further into it, these people handle these situations in such terrible ways. It's almost why I'm struggling to take it seriously right now. It's because these influencers from LA, from California, they're all very... honestly kind of annoying. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not really that mean in my videos unless it's like Onision or something. But they are quite annoying. And just, this is annoying.
I really want to come on here and share my side of the story, but that will only lead to more hurt, and that will only lead to more questions.
Stop. You're a minute or 30 seconds into a video. Stop saying, I really want to come on here and tell you guys about what's happened. You're 30 seconds into a video on your million follower platform. Just tell us. Tell us what's going on here. You're not bigger than this. You're not better than this. Because if you were, you just wouldn't have made this video. Like, honestly, like, yeah.
And that will not lead to healing on either party's side.
I'm sorry if you want to skip forward, I'll put chapters down below, but this whole thing here of like, oh, I want healing for both of us. I'm sorry, but if I was falsely accused of cheating by my ex or another ex, any ex, I don't know why I've said I'm not cheating, all right? But if I was accused of cheating, I wouldn't be like, oh, I want healing for the both of us. If they're lying about me, oh, no. I want the worst. I want the worst for this individual. I'm not going to try and seem like I'm a holier than thou individual that, oh, yeah, I really want the best. No. If somebody was to say my friend was cheating and it was a lie, I would want the worst for that person. And it's fine to admit that. I don't know what is with influencers and being holier than thou. If you are truly going to combat against these things, tell us the truth.
Because we both made mistakes. It was a very toxic and abusive relationship on both ends. And the things that I put Bella through, I owned up to privately many, many, many months ago. And so seeing all of this resurface is just kind of interesting. And it just kind of puts me in this weird mental state where I'm not sure how to go about it. But I am bettering myself. I'm very sober. I'm very single. And I'm finding my peace. And I hope that Bella finds peace.
And you look like you have no idea what you're doing right here. What are you even trying to make? Either way, the response is pretty bad. It's very vague, and it's deliberately vague so, because I'll just confirm it right now. We'll go into the evidence later on. But yeah, Mattie, they were cheating on OnlyJayus. Like, confirmation just from me alone. We will get into the evidence later on. But yeah, there's a reason they were being nonchalant, and there's a reason that I'm being a little bit more aggressive than usual, because they were cheating, and the nonchalant response to me is just them trying to paper over and cover over things. So right now, at the very beginning of the story, it's not looking good. OnlyJayus has come out with its story about being cheated on, and yes, I'll just confirm it to you right now, they absolutely were telling the truth in this situation. But unfortunately, back then, for some reason, there was not the evidence really posted that was needed. It was just more them two making shots at each other via TikTok videos. It was very immature. But at the end of the day, JS in this situation was in the right. But yeah, seemingly the comments weren't really being critical at the time. As you can see here, it says, you need to hold better attention on that yarn. Mattie explaining something very serious. Well, they weren't explaining it. Let's be real here, people. They weren't explaining it. Word of advice, the next relationship you have, do not make it public. If you do make it public, this could happen again. What? They cheat again? They just instinctively cheat on their partner again? But yeah, this wasn't the end of it, of course. This was only the beginning, and JS yet again responded to this response. In a response that starts off by saying, the victim complex of a cheater is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And yeah, she had her response in this video right here. So it's muted, by the way. It says, but it was manipulation. Why should I have to apologize? I saw manipulation, so I said manipulation. That ain't bullying. That's an astute observation. And yeah, that's pretty much their first rebuttal. And the comments aren't really having it. It's kind of mixed. Somebody says, you guys switch up so fast. Guys, please fill me in. What happened? And a lot of people were just kind of confused what's going on between OnlyJayus and Mattie. And yeah, even now in 2026, the reason I'm making this video in general is because people are very confused. I was confused when I first started to look into this because things were kind of just all over the place. But yeah, from that moment on, there wasn't really much said whatsoever. The whole topic just kind of died down in 2023. There may have been a subtle dig here and there, but the reality is, well, the story was at an end. As I said earlier, cheating is a bad thing. I'm not gonna lie. I've been laughing and joking, but at the end of the day, cheating is still a serious thing, even if it is in a relationship that's 6 months long between a 19-year-old and a 19-year-old, still young. It's still serious. Of course, I don't deny that. But obviously, it's not the end of the world, so nobody's career was ended in this situation, and that was basically that. Until, well, things resurfaced in 2023 with more serious allegations. Because yeah, on the 8th of February 2026, OnlyJayus decided to make another TikTok responding to all of the lies made up about her. And it wasn't just lies in reference to this situation with her cheating or possibly them being cheated on. It was a response to a lot of different different things, but we're primarily going to focus on, well, the topic at hand.
Let's rapid fire all the lies that get spread about me. Aren't you racist? No. I did say slurs as a teenager, though, which was racist and homophobic and probably a bunch of other things. But you know what? A lot can change about a person in 11 years. Didn't you cheat on your ex-girlfriend? No. I got cheated on with a minor, and y'all still support them. Well,
very big claim. This hasn't been said before, and also, I just want to be critical for a second here. Now, there may have been rumblings and rumors here at the time of the minor claim, but at the end of the day, you can't really blame the audience for not really knowing this information at the time, because, well, I didn't know this information, and this is pretty much my job. And I think getting mad at people for not knowing the context of everything is just kind of silly, because, like, at the end of the day, not everyone knows about these things, and before she even made this TikTok, it wasn't a big story, and therefore, yeah, it makes sense that people would take their sides without this giant piece of context. But of course, this is a very, very big allegation and it has to be taken seriously. But I do, again, have criticism here of you can't just throw that out there without immediately providing evidence. Now, of course, more evidence does get provided down the timeline, but whenever an influencer comes out of these types of things, it is very frustrating when they're not directly proving the evidence, then not necessarily going into detail, because when you're going to speak on such a major thing, you need to come with the receipts, the context, the evidence, the screenshots, because at the end of the day, these are life-altering allegations. You can't just throw them around willy-nilly and expect people to just be like, oh yeah, I totally believe you, or just to wash over that and forget about it. No, these are serious allegations, and it is tiring hearing LA content creators cover this stuff and speak about this stuff and accuse each other of things without understanding the sheer gravity of what they're even talking about. But yeah, let's continue. It does get a little bit more serious. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but it does continue to get a bit more serious. And yeah.
Don't you have a domestic violence charge and a restraining order on you? No! We went to court and I won because it was bullshit.
And yeah, this is absolutely true. In 2024, an attempted restraining order was placed against JS, which was dismissed as a result of a court no-show. Allegations were made, and a claim was made, but it was ultimately dismissed as the person who was accusing JS of a bunch of things, yeah, they didn't turn up to court and said basically absolutely nothing afterwards.
She lied for TMZ money. And then when I started dating somebody new, she came to my door with a 9-page letter begging for me back. Well,
what is going on? What is going on in the LA influencer scene where this is the stuff going on? I feel like the UK is a lot different of a place. We don't really seem to get there. At least we don't get this often. This seems to happen quite a lot with these influencers where their relationship drama is just honestly quite absurd. But yeah, that's the crux of things. There is an allegation that has been made specifically against their ex. And immediately people guessed this was all about Mattie, which of course naturally prompted Mattie into making a response to these things because, yeah, you're not just going to sit around and allow somebody to defame you like that and they have the full right to defend themselves. Because, yeah, Mattie went on to say that there is no evidence because it's not true, and they basically said that they're not going to give more fuel to OnlyJayus to spread more lies about them. And well, this statement, I guess they're going to kind of regret because it only prompted JS into making even more statements about Mattie, and of course that led to some receipts starting to leak out here and there.
There is no evidence because it's not true, and I'm not going to feed into the lies so they can continue spreading more lies about me. Hey, how old was this girl?
Okay, so immediately here we have two individuals kissing, and one of them is Mattie. It says, "Please, I'm so confused," and this is an old TikTok from, I believe, 2021.
Remember when you posted this while we were dating?
As you can see, it says Maddie's Basement, which would have been their second account, with somebody called Nard.
I want people to know about me. You were like 21. How old was she? You're not going to say it, so I will. She was 17.
Big claim. We'll get into the evidence in a second, but yeah, this is the claim: 17 and 21/20.
If anybody remembers the Nicholas Ray drama, their roommate, he did it. Everybody likes to say that she lied, but she didn't. She was telling the truth. He would bring over teenage girls to their apartment and they would get them drunk. And you stayed friends.
Major allegation, which again is going to come up later on down the timeline.
With him up until the point that she went public about it. And then suddenly, oh no, I don't want to get canceled either. I got to cut him off. I got to unfollow. I got to delete all these videos with him. But you stayed friends with him. You drove him to the airport. Big emotional hug and cry goodbye because you were going to miss your best friend that did this to minors. because you did it too. I posted a bunch of evidence.
So yeah, basically what we have here is not only is Mattie now being accused of things, there's also another individual, another TikTok being accused of basically bringing over 17-year-olds and getting them drunk, which is of course a massive allegation, which later on JS does go on to give evidence for in a 45-minute long video. But right now we're just going to continue with this.
When all this happened, I wish I had my old phone to continue just posting more, but I got some. Hey, that's a cool jacket. But why are you giving it to this teenage girl that...
Okay, so this is another big allegation from JS, and I have to say, I don't think that this really is anything, like, I don't think this is a major point to the allegations. The coat is the same color. There is no evidence that this is the same coat. Now, this person here, as you can see, is somebody called Amara. Amara is about to heavily appear in these allegations, but in terms of what's being said here, I don't think that this necessarily can be given as evidence. It would be the same of if somebody was like, oh, yeah, you are wearing a black coat in a video and this person was wearing a black coat in the video. That means that you two have crossed paths and it's the same coat. And it's like, no, it may just be a similar coat. It may just be a similar... Yeah, it just may just be similar. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the same coat. And right now, again, with this allegation, this evidence isn't good enough. It's not. And I know people might get frustrated at that, but when you're making these serious allegations, you need to provide the evidence.
Giving it to this teenage girl that we met together just a few days after staying at my house.
Again, it might be true, but at the end of the day, there's no direct proof that that hoodie is the same hoodie. Again, I need to clarify. It could be true, but a photo of a hoodie, which one here is a lot higher up, this hoodie here, in comparison to how it's down there, it's hard to say if that's really the same hoodie at the end of the day. It might be, but I don't think it can be used as evidence. Like, this isn't going to be used in a court of law. It's just too... It's not good enough.
I got no ill feelings towards this girl, okay? I saw her once at a party a few months ago, and she was mad dogging me, but I was just like, girl, I think you're a victim. I don't think that I'm a victim because I was a grown adult and I should have seen these signs and walked away, but live and learn. But Mattie, have you learned your lesson yet? Do you remember the night you told me you cheated on me? At the Streamy Awards, you were high on ketamine.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. What's going on in the LA influencer scene? Ketamine, jeez. I mean, to be fair, it happens in the UK as well. Not me. I promise. That sounds bait. I'm promising you, I'm not on the Special K. Only the cereal. Special K cereal is good. I don't know if you guys have that in America. I'm going to imagine so. But either way, crazy things going on in the LA influencer scene. Let's continue.
Pulled me into the bathroom. You're like, I'm going to tell you something, but then I'm going to...
Okay. Let's continue.
Because that's manipulative as hell. You still in the K-hole? You still drinking? I hope you're doing better, but I really think that you should admit this, at least to yourself, so we can all heal. JS, this happened so long ago. Why are you still talking about it? Because people think I cheated. People think that I cheated with minors. And I'm not going to put up with that shit. Because it's not me. It's you.
Stunning and brave. But at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of serious allegations have been made here. But at the end of the day, the only evidence that was provided at this moment of the timeline was a hoodie that looked similar to another hoodie. And I don't really think that this is the best way to handle these allegations. And that's what I was saying just now about, I think these influencers need to understand the sheer gravity of what they're saying in these videos. They need to understand that these allegations are life-altering. They can ruin somebody's life. They can potentially lead to somebody going to jail. So you have to treat this with the courtesy and respect that it invites. And I think in this situation, JS is not doing that. Yes, down the line, she does go on to give evidence, but that evidence should have been provided at the very moment of what you're claiming here. Regardless if you agree with her or not, right now, I think we can all agree that this lack of evidence only contributes to people not believing her and not taking this seriously, and also being as confused as I was at the very beginning of this timeline. There's a reason people have asked me to cover this story, and it's because it's just confusing and a bit all over the place. And in regards to the ages of the potential victims in this situation, the situation between Nord and Mattie took place in 2021. Nord is now 22 years old, which would have made them 17 in 2021, and Mattie would have been 20 years old, which, regardless of your opinion on that, the age of consent in LA is 18 years old, which technically would make this illegal. And I should just say, Nor has confirmed this. A big credit to Denki Jabo for putting the screenshot in his video about the situation. I couldn't find the comment myself, but yes, the comment was definitely made. made. Now, I should just say, obviously, the age gap of 17 to 20 is not the biggest age gap in the world. A lot of the comments have made that argument, but at the end of the day, I remember being 17 years old. I remember I was in my first year of college, I believe, and I remember somebody I knew was speaking in a very physically and emotional way to a 20-year-old, and I think they were in their third or coming towards the end of their second year of university. So in a academic standpoint, we were 3 or 4 years apart, and I remember at 17 being so much more immature than how I was at 20/21. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily the biggest age gap in the world, but I definitely think it can be considered weird, because when I was 21 or when I was 20 years old, I was definitely staying away from 17-year-olds, because I think there's such a maturity difference. Even if the age gap is a bit like small, I still think there is a maturity gap there. And whilst I don't think people will necessarily be branding this person as like a P word, I can't say the word because I don't want to get demonetized, I think people will definitely say this is very, very weird. But also, yeah, at the end of the day, it does technically go against the age of consent, which does make this alarming and does make this a potentially very serious situation. And yeah, the reason I say all this is because JS herself has made the claim that yes, technically she was cheated on with a minor, and the minor in this case, yeah, in the eyes of the law, would have been a minor. But also with the drinking allegations made previously, I remember when I was 21 years old, or 20 years old in this case, I remember when I was 20 and we were drinking a lot, we were going out a lot. In the UK, you can drink above the age of 18. If you were 20 and you were drinking with 17-year-olds, you would be considered very weird. Not just weird, but you'd get a lot of words put towards you. It's very weird behavior. I don't know if this is just a UK thing, but from the comments I've seen, there's been a lot of debate about this. With the drinking stuff, with all of this stuff, I do think it is odd behavior, because why would you not just be drinking with people of your own age, above the age of 18? It is just quite odd. But then we get into Amara, who is currently 21 years old and is another part of this allegation, and in this case, more of the serious allegations, as Mattie and Amara were in a relationship over 2 years ago, and JS said this. Amara was 17 and Mattie was 22. Now, obviously, this is a very serious allegation, but at the end of the day, JS is following the same pattern of behavior of where she isn't providing the evidence to the things that she's saying here. 17 and 22 is obviously a lot more serious than 17 and 20. Some will say that they're obviously both as serious, but a 5-year age gap is, of course, more significant than a 3-year age gap. Both are very weird, but one starts to get into that territory of, oh, this not starts, it is in that territory of, okay, this is pretty disgusting. But I should clarify, Amara has come out and said that she did not date Mattie when she was 17 years old. She's absolutely doubled down on this too. She did not date Mattie when she was 17, and Amara would have been, I believe, 18 when they actually dated. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, 18 and 23, in my opinion, is still weird. I'm sorry, if I had a 23-year-old friend dating an 18-year-old, I'd go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you dating an 18-year-old? It's just odd. Between the ages of 23 and 18, you do a lot of growing, but also the freshly 18 argument, whilst it does not hold up in a court of law, because at the end of the day, they are above the age of consent, it, in my opinion, does have the implications in a lot of scenarios with this sort of thing of, you probably knew them when they were 17 because you mysteriously just started dating the moment they turned 18. That is an argument that I've seen a lot of people make. Obviously, though, there's no evidence for that. And Amara has said, yes, they only dated when they were above the age of 17. And I think it is important to establish these facts and establish these discussions, because obviously there is a lot of lies that have been put out there in this whole situation on both sides. And I think we really need to just look at what is right and what is wrong. And in fact, when asked for proof about these things, because of course at this point of time, there still really hasn't been much proof, JS made a TikTok responding. And honestly, I don't really think there still is that much credible proof here.
JS, I'm working on it. I don't think I could put all this on TikTok.
Again, you shouldn't be making these videos if you haven't just finished your video where you're going to be documenting all the receipts. I don't know if that's a controversial thing to say, but treating this like it's TMZ when we've seen this person criticize TMZ previously, in my opinion, is kind of ridiculous. I feel like when you're making allegations, just come with one video where it provides all the receipts. Don't wait a week. Don't wait a day, because as I've said multiple times, what you're saying is life-altering, and that's why I think JS is getting so much criticism in this situation. She has not handled it in a very good way whatsoever. It's just been her giving very emotional reactions, which the emotional part is understandable, but at the same time, the audience's emotional reaction is also understandable because you're saying something about a very major content creator who they like without providing much evidence whatsoever other than a red hoodie. Like, what are you expecting, really? But yeah, this is what she has to say.
Making it into a YouTube video, a little bit more effort than a TikTok. There's a lot. There's more than I expected. I didn't realize that I thought I was gonna say my piece and that'd be it. I didn't expect girls.
You can't just say your piece. What are we doing here? You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to say this person cheated on me with a minor and just move on with my life. You can't do that. Do these LA content creators not realize the sheer gravity of these allegations that they're making? Do you realize what you're saying? Like, obviously, there is going to be proof, but you can't just be like, oh yeah, I thought I was going to say it and leave. It's like, what? What? You thought you were going to leave after this? You thought you were going to just move on with your day? You can't do that. That's bizarre behavior. This is serious stuff, people. Jesus.
And then I was like, do I go to the cops with this?
Yeah, if you think there's a crime that's been committed, obviously.
Make videos about this? This feels wrong. Like, what am I doing?
But why are you making the videos then? If you think it's wrong, then why are you saying these things?
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here? This is silly. This is ridiculous. This is a poor way of handling this.
I'm not the victim, so it's not for me, but I got the platform. I'll share it. I can't share everything with TikTok just because this app is weird, so we're going to move it. But I can give you something because there still seems to be people that don't.
Okay, so we're going to get evidence. But again, with what she says there, if you can't do it on TikTok, then don't even allude to it on TikTok. Just make your YouTube video with the claim. And by the way, she has done that eventually. After like multiple TikToks, she's finally done that. But at this point of the timeline, not helping yourself. But yeah, this is the proof. So it says, Mattie, yeah, I'd be down to hop on Zoom, on FaceTime if you want. This is one of the alleged victims, apparently. They say, okay, I'll text you in like 20 minutes. The alleged victim says, wait, but you know I'm 17, right? I don't even know how old you are. Yeah, don't worry. It's all good. I'm not that much older. Again, for context, Mattie would have been about, definitely 20 years old at this point of time. I don't really think, again, this is that credible evidence whatsoever. They do, air out their concerns in what they're saying there of being 17 and speaking to somebody who is older than them. But at the end of the day, I still don't really think this is credible enough evidence to back what's being said. It is weird, like texting somebody like this, especially given the context of what's been alluded about the drinking and stuff like that. It is weird, but with these serious allegations, I need more than what's being provided here.
2020, Mattie is 20 years old here. This person that they're talking to is 17. But hey, don't worry. It's all good. I'm not that much older. We can hop on a FaceTime later. And we got more. So stay put. I'm going to keep making my normal content.
Again, I appreciate that TikTok is sensitive with taking things down, but you need to provide more if you say there's more in the TikTok. At least attempt to, because you've put something in there. So surely TikTok would be okay with some other things in there. But then after this, even more TikToks were made of where I don't, again, think it's being handled in the right way. It's just kind of like weird YouTube tea, I guess. She's singing a song here, and I can't play the song because it's copyrighted, but she's saying, I know you're a master manipulator and a habitual liar too, but don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. And then she said, oh my god, whoa, I didn't even notice it was here until I did this. This is why I'm live reacting. It says, I can't even read that. I feel sick to my stomach, and basically not just 17, some younger. So she's making more allegations here, which is a lot to process. How do you know if it's real? Because they have Mattie's real phone number. I'm also hearing from some of Mattie's friends that there might be a video coming soon of them trying to flip this on me. I wasn't planning on going further, but I will have to, and I feel like I have to at this point because whatever. Facing manipulation, confronting falsehoods. I'm in the midst of overwhelming emotions and revealing information. I find myself feeling sick to my stomach. Recently, several girls have reached out to me with undeniable proof that challenges what I believed was a settled matter. Why would you say it's a settled matter if you're making these videos? Again, I'm not trying to be critical here, but there's probably a reason you're facing this level of manipulation, because you're not putting out what you believe to be the full story with all of the screenshots. You would have helped yourself if you just came out with all of the screenshots in a YouTube video. The revelations extend beyond just one instance. They involve younger individuals than I anticipated, which is heavy to process. When confronted with doubt about the authenticity of the evidence, I can confirm that it indeed stems from a credible source, including real contact details associated with Mattie, who has been at the center of these discussions. As this situation unfolds, I've been hearing rumors. We've already gone through that. that being accused of manipulation and deceit, especially with navigating complex social dynamics, takes its toll. The emotional strain is palpable, and I recognize the need to stand firm against untruths. As I reflect on the lyrics, I know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too, but don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. I realize the power of words in shaping our realities. Good God, is it that deep? Ultimately, the path forward involves clarity and honesty, not just for myself, but for everyone involved. It's crucial to confront these issues head on, ensuring the manipulation and deceit do not overshadow the truth. I encourage others to be aware. Yeah, basically, she's just saying there's a lot of lies and deceit going on here, and I'm absolutely sure that she's not lying. I'm not lying about everything. What she's saying there, I'm sure there is a lot of deceit going on and a lot of manipulation going on, and I guess that's their statement. But of course, Mattie eventually responded to this in a TikTok video at this point of time 6 days ago, saying thank you for the patience, calling out the lies.
Saying that I never wanted to give any attention to the blatant lies that are being told about me right now. But I really cannot stay quiet any longer about the serious accusations that are being made against me.
Yeah, it's understandable. Everyone has the right to defend themselves. And I think it is pretty silly when you sometimes go into comment sections to people responding to allegations of people being like, you should just listen to the victim, you should just listen to the accuser. And it's like, well, no, if people genuinely believe that they are in the right in the situation or they know somebody's lying, they have the full right to defend themselves.
Thank you so much to absolutely everybody who waited for my response before coming to any conclusions about
No problem, Mattie. That's why we're here.
these accusations. The only reason I did not speak out about this issue sooner is because Bella, OnlyJayus, is someone...
Okay, if you don't call me back, I'm going to show up, says Bella. Answer the phone, Mattie. The fact you chose to be radio silent after everything I've told you, I could always just show up again. Sounds like my best shot at you understanding the gravity of the situation. Don't act like you don't know. You must think I'm joking. Oh, this will be fun. See you soon, Mattie. Yeah, I mean, honestly, pretty villainous stuff. Like, yeah, the cheating is bad, and I think that's kind of what this is in regards to here, but don't turn up to somebody's house, even if you think they're a criminal. I should reiterate that. Just because somebody's a criminal doesn't mean you're Batman. Doesn't mean you can just turn up to their house. Just because you think somebody's done something wrong, even if it is, like, cheating, don't turn up to their house, like, threatening things and stuff like that. It's not a good look. It's never going to help, and it only makes you look worse in this situation. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. If you think something truly horrible has happened, call the police. They will handle it. You are not a vigilante.
Who in the past has physically showed up to the place that I live and has previously threatened my physical...
Oop, if you see my cheating ex, can you slap the F out of them for me? Again, not helping yourself at all here. That's a crazy thing to ask. Basically not prompting, requesting physical assault. You better hope you never see my face again, Mattie, because I swear you haven't even seen crazy yet. Go and eat a... If you see me at Coachella, run. We know you're good at that. There's that show that what's her name is in from like 2019, which Zendaya's in as well. You know the show, it's on screen right now. I feel like these people are treating life like it's this show, and it's like, guys, what are you doing? Like, why are we doing this? I mean, I understand that they were a little bit younger back when these texts were sent, but it's so cringy and it's so just immature to see. And again, it does make it kind of hard to take seriously. But at the end of the day, in regards to these texts, it doesn't really necessarily disprove anything that's been said. But also at the same time, OnlyJayus themselves has not put out evidence that proves really anything either. So right now, it's just honestly high school drama of this person did this person did this. There's nothing really credible, and even when disproving things, all this says to me is, yeah, Jayus is crazy, this person has done things, but like I don't really know what.
Safety. So yes, in 2021, I was in a toxic relationship with somebody that I did not know how to communicate with. So while I was at an extremely low point in my life in November...
Sorry, just prepare yourself for this. I've seen this, of course. I want to do another live reaction to it, but just prepare yourself for what Mattie Westbrook is about to say. This section here is crazy. Like, this is an insane thing.
So while I was at an extremely low point in my life in November of 2022, I kissed somebody else.
Fuck you. What are you talking about? What are you doing? Saying, oh, I was at an extremely low point in my life, so I smooched someone else. I mean, come on. Come on, are we really doing that? So, yeah, as I said earlier, we were going to get to the evidence of the admission of cheating. We've got the admission right there. And it seems to be the immediate thing is to finally, after 3 years, admit to this, but also to kind of deflect it on, because they're going to go on to say, basically, they were in like a mutually abusive relationship. And that's kind of why they did it. And it's like, guys, I think honestly, yeah, you both seem pretty ridiculous. And I guess that's what the text were meant to be showing earlier to represent that. But yeah, you cheated. You did cheat, and you've not really said anything about it for 3 years straight. You've denied these things very vaguely, like we saw in this TikTok earlier. They didn't really give any rebuttal. It was just more very vague and them saying they want people to heal on both sides. And now we know why. Because yes, Mattie did cheat in the situation. Again, this isn't proof of the serious allegations. It's just more proof for the sillier stuff. And it's like, well, the one thing I can take from that is JS is now 1 for 1 in terms of like the first allegation has now been proven of cheating. Yes, it's the least serious one, but in regards to everything else, what's going to be said?
Not the person from this screenshot. It was not Amara, and it was absolutely not anyone underage. I did eventually end up telling Bella what happened, when it happened, and who it was with. However, the lies that this person is currently spreading about me and my
why would OnlyJayus, again, this is another thing I'm confused about with JS. She's so bad at providing evidence. She's so bad at helping herself. If you did tell her, why would JS not come out with the screenshots about it when she was originally accusing this person right here 3 years ago? Again, JS is so bad at doing this. Like, I don't know why, but they just are.
Who it was with. However, the lies that this person is currently spreading about me and my character are absolutely disgusting. They said that in this screenshot, I was 21 having a relationship with somebody who was 17. Me and the person in this screenshot have never had a physically intimate relationship before or after.
Now, Danky Jabe pointed this out in his video of the wording there of, we've never had a physical intimate relationship. Firstly, I mean, I guess it is just a TikTok, but like, look at this screenshot. If it lets me.
Are absolutely disgusting. They said that in this screenshot,
I mean, there's clearly like, they're physical and close with each other there. Like, you can deny it, but at the end of the day, there is a lot of TikToks out there that we've seen so far that imply like, even if it is for TikTok, some level of physicalness there, regardless of what you think about the age gap. At the end of the day, I think it's weird, but also I think that's a bit odd. Like, I mean, come on. Yeah, like that. You can't, it's hard to deny when I'm seeing you pull up the screenshot yourself and say there wasn't any physical intimacy there. That looks pretty physically intimate to me. I don't know if I'm just over deeping it here. I don't think this screenshot is absolutely proof of everything, but to deny it when it's kind of staring at us right there, but also, again, the wording.
21 having a relationship with somebody who was 17. Me and the person in this screenshot have never had a physically intimate relationship before or after.
Physically intimate, like, is there an implication of emotional? Again, that's not proof of anything. We can't just take their words and spin it in a way, but I think the wording, based on what I've seen with influencer responses over the past, is quite deliberate. Again, not evidence. I should just say that doesn't prove anything, but I remember Danky Jabe pointing out in his video, and it is a pretty good point.
She turned 18. In fact, since nothing happened between us, I thought we were on good terms.
Hey, Mattie. Hey, who's this? Oh, shoot, it's Noor. I got a new number a while ago. Oh, bro, what's up? I just want to say hey and see how you've been. Yeah, I've been alright, lol. You? Me too, to be honest. It's been a week and I've just been stressed. I mean, this doesn't necessarily indicate that, like, they're in good terms. Just having a conversation with somebody doesn't mean that everything that's happened in the past is now just not, like, it's not a thing. At the end of the day, like, I've disliked people and I've had conversations with them. I've been done dirty by people and I've had conversations with them. Me having small talk with somebody doesn't necessarily mean they're no longer implicated in whatever they may have done to me. And the same can be said for these messages that we just saw. Just because you've had small talk, again, it's not really evidence to disprove the evidence being used against you. Again, there isn't really much. Like, in fairness to Mattie Westbrook, they are providing more at this point of time, but it doesn't really go with what they're saying. If you kind of get, like, Mattie and OnlyJayus are both very bad at presenting arguments. That's kind of the conclusion I have right now.
She reached out to me in 2023 just to check in and see how I was doing. I have reached out to her to let her know that it did sting that she would instigate complete lies about me on the internet.
This is something that's happened. I will show you the screenshots later on. Noor has, said things about Mattie, and yeah,
but she never responded. Bella also claimed that in this screenshot, I was 21.
I mean, yeah, she never responded because you sent that message to her on the Friday of you making this video after all of these allegations are going viral about you. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, she's probably not going to want to talk to you. That's not really much evidence for anything, to be honest with you.
About me on the internet, but she never responded. Bella also claimed that in this screenshot, I was 21, providing alcohol to underage people. I was not 21 in this screenshot, I was 20. This is me at 20, this is me at 21. I also have no idea why Bella is lying that I met Amara when she was 15 years old. This never happened. I also never cheated on Bella with Amara, especially not when she was 17. The proof that they have is from a screenshot of me in a red hoodie from December of 2022 and a screenshot of Amara in her own red hoodie from March of 2020.
It's an absolutely valid point to make. And to be fair to Mattie here, Mattie Westbrook is providing more evidence than anyone in this situation whatsoever at this point. And this is kind of why I was saying that OnlyJayus needs to come with receipts, because at the end of the day, if there is a true allegation that you're making here, you're only giving the springboard of opportunity to Mattie Westbrook to defend themselves against the very little things that you've provided. And if they do manage to successfully do that because you haven't provided enough context, then obviously no one's going to believe you. Well, not no one, but it's going to be very hard to prove these things when you eventually come out with that YouTube video. Because right now, Mattie is saying some pretty valid things.
Which is over a month after Bella and I went complete no contact. And when Amara was already 18. This was also not my hoodie. We both owned the same Brandy Melville hoodie. And since I feel the need to clarify, Amara and I started dating on August 6th, 2023, and we hard launched on April 12th, 2024. Amara and I are also both very confused why people would try and tell us when we started dating. Now to address the text screenshots.
Again, very, very, very fair. And as I've said, Amara has denied these things. So at the end of the day, Jayus really is in the wrong in this situation, which we will get into in Jayus's response video to this, where they also seemingly admit to being wrong. It's confusing, but we will wait till we get to that point of the timeline.
2020, I would get on Zooms and FaceTime to play Among Us. I am well aware that Bella has screenshots of text conversations that I had with people in 2020 that I met through these Zooms. But I've never had an intimate conversation with anybody that I met.
Yeah, at the end of the day, having a text conversation with somebody when you're 20 and they're 17, if there's nothing really intimate being shown, which there hasn't really been so far, it doesn't provide evidence for anything. People might, again, get mad at that, but at the end of the day, there isn't real evidence provided in just a text conversation of 5 messages of, oh yeah, I'm 17 and that's that. Like it's definitely weird with the age thing being said there, but it's not enough evidence for what's being said
on these calls, especially anyone underage. And I have proof that somebody who screen recorded a conversation we had.
Like I said, my experience wasn't like a huge deal because Mattie stopped after she found out I was a child, but I don't know, I thought it was worth sharing.
In 2020, told Bella that we stopped talking once I found out how old they were. These lies are some of the most disgusting things you can say about someone.
Again, it's a good point, and it's more evidence provided by Mattie that hasn't really got, that, again, Jayus hasn't provided any evidence herself, but we're getting plenty of evidence right here, and it's hard to just, immediately at this point of the timeline, look past this.
In my entire life, I have never been physically intimate or tried to be with absolutely anybody underage. The person trying to spread lies about me right now is not a trustworthy or credible person. This is somebody who has lied in the past.
And yeah, at this point, there's not really much said after this, but at this point, Mattie is seemingly, in my opinion, winning the argument. Whilst I do think it's weird what they've done, there hasn't really been any serious evidence of it went further than them being told somebody's age in a 5-message text. Like that's not proof enough. Like it just isn't. And right at this point, Mattie was winning the argument. This had 1.5 million likes on it. People in the comment section were being supportive, and people are saying they have proof. But at the end of the day, from what I've seen, Mattie has provided the most evidence to back their arguments. But that's where we now need to get into this video here called X Called Me a Liar, Let's Address It, which is a 43-minute long video documenting pretty much everything to do with what's been spoken about so far, which also does provide the evidence that we've been so lacking throughout this first hour of all of these allegations. And I don't know why it took so long to get to this video. I truly don't. I don't know why all of the TikToks necessarily needed to be said until we really got this video, because this video is a decent video. It does provide a lot of screenshots that are and have been required, and it does start to make make Mattie look very, very bad. And yeah, we're going to go through the entire thing to provide the context, to give constructive arguments, and take a look at what is being said here. I am going to put the playback speed at 1.25 because it is a long video and there is going to be some rambling. But without further ado, let's get into things.
I swear I already owned this shirt. I did not buy it just for this video. And you know what? Right before I hit record, I saw this post saying, when you find another piece of evidence, but the situation is too old to revive. And my first thought was, no, it's not. Like, that felt like a bad omen. But I'm not going to let it go because full context.
And yeah, in fairness, if there is more evidence, you have the full right to provide the evidence.
Text matters, especially when new information comes out. And I'm putting this all here rather than just making you go find a bunch of parts on TikTok because I want it to be all in one place. I want you to be able to come back here if you have more questions, so I don't have to keep readdressing this every few months when it just comes back up. If you have questions, let me know down in the comments. I will be answering them. Okay, so this, you already know, is about an old ex, a great grand ex, if you will, okay? After we broke up, I went public about them cheating on me, and nobody believed me, or they just said I deserved it, or they said
nobody believed you because you didn't provide any evidence, just kind of like you haven't provided any evidence up until this point. And yes, I know she's going to provide evidence in this video, but at the end of the day, you can't get mad at your audience for not believing you when you yourself did not provide the evidence that you clearly actually did have. I don't get why we're getting mad at the audience for this. Like, I get like being frustrated, but I don't really see the point in being mad at me personally. I just don't.
Like, you're lying, or they said that I was the one that actually cheated and abusive. And we're going to address all those allegations as well.
Fantastic.
After a month of posting about it, I finally just shut up because it wasn't getting anywhere. It was actually just getting me more hate, and I couldn't handle it. But people for the past few years have continued to just spread the lie that I'm the one that cheated, and I'm sick of it. So among a bunch of other lies I address, which I'll post here, let's rapid fire all the lies that get spread about me. Aren't you racist?
Okay, we've seen this. Let's skip forward.
And from doing that, I have learned more. I have learned a lot more. And I'm now in this place where I'm noticing patterns. And I've always had like a really hard time trusting my judgment. So I've asked a lot of friends about this before posting. And you know what? I even asked the multiple girls that have reached out if I should do this. And they have asked me to. They have sent me proof to talk about it. Not just rumors, not just vague stories, actual screenshots, actual timelines with like the similar experiences. But Jayus, how do you know that any of this is real? Like, anybody could just type some stuff into a phone and then change the name at the top. Like, how do you know?
I don't think this is the best way to do this. I don't think giving like very passive aggressive shots at your audience for asking very simple questions is necessarily the fair thing to do. And I feel like this is why Jayus doesn't get more credibility in this situation, because she seemingly is angry at us for not believing it so far. And it's like, you haven't given us a valid reason to, really. And again, she does in this, but it's like, why are you getting mad at me? I'm here for you to tell me what's going on.
Because I asked them, like, hey, do you have the phone number? Like, what is it? And it matched Mattie's exact number. And I legally can't leak it. What can I do? Like, put the last 4 numbers there, maybe?
Fair thing, yeah. So this is definitely Mattie. As you can see, it all links up. And yeah, it's 100% lying, gaslighting, cheater. Mattie Westbrook, Mattie. It's Mattie. It's Mattie, and we can confirm that now. Fair enough. Congratulations.
I don't think it's their phone number anymore. But this is their phone number. This is the exact phone number that I had in my phone. You can go ask any of their friends. It's the same number. These minors had Mattie's phone number. Minors had Mattie's phone number. I don't think that's necessarily the like biggest, like, again, there is so much evidence. She provides a lot of evidence in this video, but I'm going through all of this in this way I am, to basically help everyone understand how we got to the point of where we are at this point in the current day. And it's like, having the phone number isn't the biggest piece of evidence that she has, but she kind of harps on it here for some reason. And it's like, look, having like a 17-year-old's phone number when you're 20 isn't the end of the world. There could be reasons for that. You could be in the same club. Like, you could be playing, like, I don't know, Among Us in 2020 together. I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing on planet Earth, and it doesn't prove what you're saying and alluding to. There is evidence in this that is very serious, but why are we still sticking on to these very minute points? Give my phone number out to hot girls at the bar, okay? I give them my Instagram because I don't want you texting me. You gave minors your phone number. And I feel like it'd be good just to get this information out there. It's gotten to the point where it doesn't even feel like internet drama anymore. This just feels like context that people probably should have.
Yes, I want the context. Like, her having the phone number, we can admit maybe it is weird in the context. No, it is weird in this context. But it's 6 minutes in and you still haven't provided really anything other than the phone number.
You know what? Honestly, I feel really dumb. I have felt so dumb just the past oh my God, I don't even know how long. I just feel dumb for how long it took me to finally see all of this. Quick timeline, me and Mattie started seeing each other in March of 2021, and we stopped talking February 2023. Our dating relationship was weird. I wanted to be polyamorous. They wanted to be monogamous with me, and I eventually agreed to that. But they cheated on me anyway, which is crazy.
So it says, therapist sent me this after explaining what happened yesterday, so I kind of get my reactions are great, aren't great, but I don't know what to do about it. I know I broke her trust. So she has full proof that she cheated. And it's like, why would you not just provide this previously? From what I've seen from all of my research, there is no evidence like that she's put out up until this point to back this stuff. And it's like frustrating because she's been getting mad at all of us for not believing her. It's like, you have the proof to the cheating stuff, so why not? Why not just give it? Like, again, the cheating stuff really isn't that significant in terms of these allegations, but it's like, why has it took me an hour to get here? Why have you taken so long? And it's like, you need to rethink how you handle your allegations. When you're making a serious allegation against somebody, even if it is cheating, even if it like is like the things we've got onto after that, you have to give evidence no matter what. Please learn from this. But yeah, sorry, it's annoying.
Okay, but I was an adult, right? I should have just stepped away. But my self-esteem was so bad, dude, that like I didn't, and that's just embarrassing. Now, okay, with Amara has said...
Okay, the shirt is quite funny. It says, I like older women. That's quite funny. I'll give her that.
That she was 18. And you know what?
Were you? Yeah. So this is the first. And this is again the confusing part here. I like that she addresses it. I like that she admits to it. But yeah, Amara admits that. Well, doesn't admit. She says they were never dating Mattie when Amara was a minor, and this is what OnlyJayus has to say about it.
Okay, with Amara has said that she was 18. And you know what? I believe women. If Amara says that she was 18, then Amara was 18. I'm not gonna
like I get what she's saying. I believe women and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it just kind of feels like you're trying to paint over the fact that you've been caught out lying with like a little bit of virtue signaling there. Like, am I crazy for saying that? I hate the word virtue signaling because it's overused massively. But at the end of the day, you can't just be caught out in a lie about somebody being 17 years old and they're not 17 years old. This is like a very, very serious allegation. And the Amara allegation is the biggest one. That's the 17 and 22, 23 allegation. It's like, you can't just make that statement and lie about it and then be like, oh, well, I believe women. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you've been caught out lying. And like where we're at right now, almost 10 minutes into your video, it's not looking good. Like, you've proven the cheating, but the serious thing, the first main serious thing, it's not looking good. I can't lie to you. Like, I don't know if I'm missing context, but I've done hours upon hours of research, and like that, it's not looking good.
Rewrite her experience, but I think the context matters because it exists. I did originally say that we met Amara when she was 15, and you're gonna have to forgive me for that because the math is wrong.
Again, it's just like not helping. What? Come on. This is what I mean about not taking this seriously. You don't take this shit with the due diligence that you absolutely should. Regardless of what anyone thinks about Mattie, we have to all admit here, there are two people saying very serious things about each other. One's calling the other a liar, one's accusing the other of very serious things, and you can't just do that in such a nonchalant way. You've got to take this seriously. So unfortunately, no matter what you say in this, like there's a lot that I've seen it, of course, but there's a lot that's said that is like very damning on Mattie. But like from this point on, you're in a bad light to me because you've admitted to lying like twice now.
Because events didn't start happening until 2021. I remember meeting her at this it was like a Spotify podcaster event. I remember Drew Offalo speaking. I'm sorry I didn't take a bunch of pictures to prove this for you guys years later. You just have to trust that I remember meeting her. I remember Mattie introducing me to her with her ex, JT. And like in a way that's like, oh, like you're mutuals with this person, you're friends with this person. And we're walking away like, oh my God, she's so pretty. And in my head, I'm like, she's so young. I remember them saying that Amara was like really pretty. And my first thought was she's like really young. And she has a boyfriend. My guess is Mattie did wait until this teenage girl turned 18.
Again, you can't really guess in these things. Like I know how TikTokers treat allegations. Like you can just say something and it's like proven for some people, but it's like you can't just be like my guess. It's like, no, I need evidence. You can't. This is the problem. The evidence comes. We're going to get into it, but it's like you can't just say I guess after admitting to lying about two different things here. And like you say to me, oh, she wasn't 15, she was 16. And I was wrong about the 15 thing. It was like, well, why am I meant to believe you about the 16 thing straight away without you saying anything or giving any evidence? It's like you've already been proven to lie twice. or be wrong twice. Sure, maybe it was a misspeaking, but it's like, come on here, people. How many times are we going to get something wrong in such a serious allegation?
Start dating them. A 23-year-old waited for a 17-year-old to turn 18 because they're not stupid, they're just creepy, okay? And I don't know the details of their relationship, I'm not gonna act like I do, but there was definitely some social overlap happening because in November of 2022, Amara went to a concert with Mattie. I'm sitting in my room right now editing this video, literally as I'm like talking about stuff, going and finding the receipts because what else am I supposed to do? And I'm feeling so insane because the other day, I find a video of them all at a concert. And now it's gone. Wondering what Mattie was doing in those days of silence, deleting evidence. And December...
Again, it's just that you're saying it, but there's no evidence. Like, we're now about 8 minutes in getting into your first screenshots directly about the situation that isn't just the number. So far, the only other screenshot you've shown disproves things that you've said about the age of Amara. It's like, oh, God, this is hurting my brain. You're saying that you're going insane, but I'm going insane.
Is when Mattie admitted to cheating on me with that like adult named Olivia Ponton. With that one, they blamed alcohol, they blamed depression, they blamed my parents' divorce, and they blamed the stress of meeting Joe Biden.
Oh, I meant to take this seriously. I should. Like, I'm just staring at Joe Biden's face now. Oh, J-Dog. Man. We thought it was bad when you were in charge, mate. It's only gotten worse, hasn't it? And there's Mattie and Joe Biden. I love laughing at these things, man, because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. What is going on? So Biden, not only has he been blamed by Trump for the economic crisis, he's also being blamed for Mattie and this person. Sorry, that is Mattie. Mattie and this person cheating. I mean, there's no, we're going to get into text, but like, come on. It's funny. It's just funny. Like, I'm sorry, JS, I can't take this seriously. Look at Joe's little face. He's definitely about to get an ice cream. We know he loves ice cream.
I wish I was making that up. But again, I'm stupid and have a low self-esteem. So in January of 2023, me and Mattie are still hanging out. February is when we stopped talking. And we haven't. It's
worrying to me that these people have had close access to the US government. You asked the question of how is America in the state it is. They're giving political access to TikTokers like this. Please, God, America, stop doing these things. You just get off. The US government should not be allowed on TikTok. I don't care if it's Trump, Biden, George Bush, Bill Clinton. None of them should be on TikTok. Just ban politicians from social media. I don't need to see it. Just ban them from interacting with influencers. I don't need to see it.
Spoken since. Same month that Amara turns 18. From where I stand, that timeline is just a little bit uncomfortable. That's all. But before Amara and before...
Again, nothing's really been said other than Biden and the person being 18 or maybe just turning 18, but there's no direct proof. Famous birthdays... You're giving me somebody's famous birthdays and you're not showing anything else. Is that what, am I meant to go and do the math now? Like, come on. And like, at the end of the day, it's hard to do the math when you haven't provided any timelines here. It's just, take me at my word. Here's a screenshot of famous birthdays. And it's like, are we really doing the thing where we just put screenshots in our face and expect me to think that's like a believable thing? I've been asking for screenshots that are credible, not just random things on a screen that says, this is when somebody was born. Come on.
For Olivia, there was Noor. And I've already talked about Noor. She's the girl in the screenshot. She was 17. And
so yeah, Noor has, as we said here, I was 17 years old and 17 is a minor. Consent in California is 18. Technically, it is a crime.
They're now claiming to be 20. Oh my God. You're still a grown adult, okay? With a 17-year-old.
Yeah, and I will admit it is weird. As I said earlier, when I was in college, I experienced a 20-year-old dating a 17-year-old. Weird. Like, the person was invited to parties with the 20-year-old and their friends who were even older than 20 in some cases. And it's like, there is an uncomfortable thing going on there, and that absolutely is wrong, and it should not happen. Like, I know people may disagree with me, being like, it's only 17 and 20. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's still a bit weird. I think it is still weird. But the more serious allegation... It's not true from what I've seen so far, but there is still an allegation that hasn't been disproven. And in fact, Noor herself is saying it's true.
I was 22. Noor was living in the same building complex as Mattie, Nick, and Scott. Mattie and Nick were very much a part of this. Scott, not so much. He was kind of always on his own or out of the house, so not him. Carter was actually there while they were all drinking.
So the kiss on the head, there, like Mattie has made the excuse that they weren't physically intimate. Just look at that. I mean, I don't, again, it's like JS does not help herself. It's like you've just provided a video without talking about the video and what happens in that video. Let's look at that again. So yeah, we've got these guys here, but then we've got these two. Look at that. They're about to kiss. Are they kissing there? Like, there's a kiss on her head and they're intimately looking at each other. So regardless of what Maddie's saying, Mattie has been proven to lie there. And this is what really frustrates me. It's like, just provide that video an hour ago. Why are you waiting this long? And even when you provide it, you've just got it on screen whilst you're talking about something else. And it's like, oh my God, people, this is what I mean about them not taking this stuff seriously. It's like, I don't even think you understand what you're doing here. I really, really don't. But yeah, let's continue. In my opinion, wow. Finally, 9 minutes in, we have confirmation. I've already seen this, of course, but I was waiting to get there because I just want to air my frustrations at how badly this has been handled and why people aren't believing JS in some cases, because she's been proven to be lying about some things, but even the things that she isn't lying about, she is unable to correctly address the evidence.
Young. He wasn't even living there yet. If I remember right, he was Nora's friend, okay? These two adults, Nick and Mattie, would provide alcohol to these TikTok teenagers in the building. I stopped going to the apartment, one, because I didn't fuck with Nick, and two, because Nick didn't fuck with me. I wasn't allowed at his place. So I didn't go. I wasn't involved.
And again, providing alcohol to people who are 17 is incredibly weird, and it's also a crime in America. So yeah, I think the age to drink in America is 21 years old, and yeah, providing that to somebody who is 17 is illegal, and it is definitely weird, even in countries, well, I was just going to say even in countries where it's legal. It's not even legal to do in the UK. You have to be 18 in the UK for that. So yeah, this is a fair argument to make. Again, we're going to get into screenshots and stuff like that, but if that is true, then definitely that is weird.
And you know what? I, at the time, just thought that it was Nick.
So it says, getting drunk with a 17-year-old girl, no matter their clout, isn't going to help your livelihood. Connections are everything. I get it, but this isn't the way to go. I've known about all this. So this is with Nick. I've known about all of these people longer than I've known you, and I love you, but you have to understand that you keep messing up and putting yourself in a situation where people don't feel comfortable being around you. Bella, like I said, I love... So there's no denial here whatsoever. Literally, this person is just being incredibly condescending to OnlyJayus, and regardless of what you think about OnlyJayus, they are not denying what's being said here really straight away. Like, if somebody says to you, you're getting drunk with 17-year-olds, you should immediately deny that before being like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And to me, congratulations, we finally got some proof to back the things of, yes, there were grown adults providing alcohol to 17-year-olds, which is a very, very serious thing. Not just because it's, breaking the law, but also when you're 17, you are at that age where you haven't been drinking regularly. You are much worse out with alcohol than somebody who is 20 or 21 or above that. And therefore, you're much easier to be manipulated when you are drunk. I remember when I started drinking when I was 16/17, I was a complete mess. By the time I got to 20 years old, been at university for 2 or 3 years, I had absolutely mastered the craft. When I was 20, I was better at drinking then than I am now. So yeah, the idea that someone is drinking and providing alcohol to somebody when they're in their 20s to somebody who's 17, that is incredibly weird. And I will applaud Jess for finally getting in to giving some evidence. Damn. Took so long.
This drinking problem. It was later that I realized that Mattie had it too. And it was really only this month that I learned the true extent of Nora and Maddie's relationship. They would drink, they would make videos, they would go to each other's apartments. Mattie was texting her while in bed with me, telling her that they loved her, telling them...
They're fully kissing there. They're fully kissing there. Like, why are we not addressing these videos, JS? JS, they're right there. I know you've put them on screen for me to see, but it's like you need to talk about them and tell me the context. Obviously, the context is incredibly wrong and weird, but I'm just saying, like, you need to directly say this stuff.
That they were in a PR relationship with me. I don't even have the time to begin to explain how funny that sentence is, but they claim...
Yeah, the being in a PR relationship with OnlyJayus, it's a sentence that makes no sense because... As we've seen, JS has been regularly criticized for so many different things, and being friends with JS is not a good PR move. I will just say that. So yeah, a valid point there.
To be in a PR relationship with OnlyJayus. What?
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good point.
Posted all these weird videos with some other girl. I just left LA for like a week. I went to Florida to go visit some other girl I was talking to. Get out of LA because I didn't want to even deal with what was going on with them. Again, I wanted to be polyamorous. Mattie wanted a relationship with me, and why they were using teenagers to make me jealous or something, I really don't know. But when Nor went public about what Nick did, Mattie was very upset with Nor. They were very upset.
Nick, in regards to the person who was providing alcohol, according to JS and those text messages previously.
For their best friend. They were confused. Why is she just speaking up now? Why is she causing drama on the internet? And the internet didn't believe her because Nick went and posted a video with his own explanation. But it was at the point where it was like, Nick...
Damn, Nick, thought the lesson would have been don't drink and sleep with minors, not whenever this voyage bullshit means you left LA definitely because you and everybody else knows what you did with Noor, with the other girls, with Bailey and Sid. This is not a video you should have posted if you had any intention of doing the right thing. I'm horrified that I even considered you a friend. And yeah, it's Nick addressing the situation. And as you can see, he was getting cooked. And yeah, this guy has seemingly ran away from social media, which is not a good look. Like, JS isn't wrong in saying that Nicholas ran away because there is no video up. He's abandoned a profile with 5 million followers. And look, it's not looking good for this Nicholas guy. He's not the topic of today, but like at the end of the day, Nicholas was very much affiliated with Mattie. This is not looking good.
Like, you're canceled. You got to get out. And so Mattie drove him to the airport because that was his friend, their friend. I'm bad with pronouns, you guys. I'm so sorry. Everybody still said
I went back and found some old texts Nick sent me about how your actions make people feel uncomfortable around you, and that's just some you have to live with. The irony is killing me. 2021. So yeah, there's clearly something going on in 2021 between all of these influences.
Nor lied, and she didn't. Nick did that shit. Mattie was involved with it. He was 21. She was 17. And I wish so bad that I still had my old phone, because it seems like I just don't have my old phone. This is from years ago. I don't have these old texts. I wish I did, but you can go and watch all the videos that Noor posted. You can go and watch all my old videos of me ranting about this stuff. It all exists. Now I'm going to try my best to just stick to the proof that I do have, because I feel like that tells the best story here.
Finally, 12 minutes in. I mean, I know you've shown some things here and there now. Congrats, but like, come on, get to the point.
I'm going to show her Noor's text reactions to Mattie. So Mattie reached out to Noor for the first time since she was 17 years.
So Wednesday, it says, hey, I'm not sure if you saw the video that Bella posted, but she posted a screenshot of a video we made in 2021. I'm so sorry they're trying to get you involved in this, and I'm going to do my best to keep your name out of the situation. I hope everything is well with you after not speaking since 2021. To me personally, that reads like they're trying to buddy up to them. Let's continue.
Years old to apologize for me and my video that I had posted. How do you think I have this text though, guys? It's because Noor reached out to me being like, look at this. She said, that's what happened when I came about Nick. These people are diabolical. There's no wonder they were such good friends. I gave her my number saying, hey, if you want to talk about it. I said, that's crazy. Mattie reached
So we're going to have to read what she says there because she doesn't read this. You've got to read her own screenshots. It says, this has got along bigger than I expected to. I have had concerning about of people telling me and proving to me that Mattie talked to them while they were minors. I have a 17-year-old or somebody that was 17 at the time. I have somebody that was 14 at the time, and I'm waiting on proof that somebody who says that their cousin was 13. Like, I feel sick. I feel like I didn't wanted to clear my name because everybody thought I was cheating, and now I have like way too much information, dude. Yeah, I don't know what to do at this point. JS hasn't read the message, but like there's allegations on screen there involving 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. I feel like, again, you need to provide evidence of that. I know she hasn't directly addressed it currently at this point of time, but people are going to read these screenshots, and I'm not being funny. Like, that's a very, very, very serious allegation to make, and I feel like you need to provide the proof ultimately. But yeah, then Noor says, that's what happened when I came out about Nick. These people are diabolical. There's no wonder they were such good friends in regards to Nick and Mattie. And yeah, like, again, this is good. This is proof that like a lot was going on. But in terms of what's being said in these messages right here, you should have either blurred it out or provided evidence to what you're talking about here, because people are going to see that. People on the internet are going to take it and run with it. Like, at the end of the day, like, if I made a video talking about how like somebody had allegations against them and I just showed a message on screen that was like, oh, by the way, there's also a 13-year-old that's speaking against them, people would point that out and be like, oh yeah, that's weird. What's going on there? This person's been accused of 13 and stuff like that. It would just develop and it would snowball. So you have to be very, very careful with what you're showing. And unfortunately, that's not happened here.
Child to apologize for what they did, not what they did to you, for what I did, not what they did to you. So then in the text with Noor, I went and sent her all the screenshots that I have, which we will get to, I promise, okay? Then Noor decided to send some screenshots for me, back old ones that Mattie sent. Mattie trying to do some detective work really quick, seeing like who these other girls were, because Nick also got accused of talking to a bunch of 17-year-olds, and they stayed friends with them. Oh look, my name got mentioned in this one. Yeah, Nick was weird. He was a weird guy. I met him. Actually, that's the only reason I met Mattie. Oh my.
The providing of evidence here is done in such a lazy way that it really makes it hard to take this seriously. Like, right now, I'm in the belief that Mattie has definitely done a lot of weird stuff and is ultimately in the wrong based on the small evidence that we've seen. But that mainly comes down from me having to pause and take, time to collect myself. I don't think the TikTok audience, for the most part, is necessarily doing that. Now, obviously, a lot are, but at the end of the day, I feel like this should have been scripted in a manner of, this is this screenshot, this says that, and then this says that, and this connects to that, rather than, we were kind of friends, this happened, and there's me scrolling through my phone without providing evidence and context of what I'm actually talking about. It's like, whoa. You need to take a pauser, take a breather, and I think the problem is JS is like really jittery in this. It's like she's very scared and nervous, which is understandable, but you need to take a pauser and breathe and understand what you're talking about is going to be dissected by a lot of people out there, taken very seriously, as it should be, and right now you're not doing a good job. Even if there is proof, she's still not doing a good job.
Nor decided to comment on my videos being like, yes, like I'm that girl in the screenshot, thank you for this. Mattie went and texted them, said, hey Nor, it's Mattie, I'm really confused about the comment you left on Bella's post because you and I never did anything besides make those videos together, which in hindsight I understand how they're really misleading, but also making those videos with everybody else we knew. I would love to call you and talk about this because I do know what the truth is, and I'm really hurt you would try to push the narrative the other way. Hey,
I would love to call and talk about you. I mean, it's very clear that Mattie is trying to win back the argument in the situation, trying to manipulate people into believing what they're saying. Right now, it's not looking good.
There's a reason Nor didn't respond to you, is because you were an adult grooming a minor. You're weird. Nor said, mind you, I have an hour-long phone call with Mattie after everything happened, and I was like, I really need your help with this because this is a detrimental, traumatic situation I'm being put through, and they didn't want to help at all. Like, I tried to get them to talk to my detective on my case and shit, and they wouldn't. So I don't know why they would love to call and figure this out. Like, no, this has been tormenting me for 5 years.
And the reason that Mattie is doing that is because, as I said, they're trying to manipulate Nora in this situation. Like, I feel bad for Nora in this situation. I can imagine it's quite traumatic, especially now it's all going public and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't think JS has really helped Nora's case in this situation, especially with the Amara stuff. It's just a bit of a mess right now.
Do what you want with that text. I'm so ready to get involved. Well, it's crazy. And then she said, I'm sorry, what was I can't wait to take you on a second date when you turn 18. A second date? Wait a minute. I remember Mattie saying I can't wait to take her on a date when she turns 18. A second?
Again, this is all over the place here. Like, yes, there's screenshots, but it's like, this is such a mess. Why is this so erratic? I understand it's stressful, but this is why I couldn't really do a scripted video, because this should have been the scripted video, and it's so all over the place. It's hard to work out what's going on. It's kind of ironic that she's got Darth Maul in the background there, because Darth Maul was a very erratic person that just acted out of complete emotion, and that's what's going on right here. And it's like, in these screenshots right here, it says, I'm so sorry, was that I can't wait to take you on a date the second you turn 18, not predatory enough. That's a quote that they make, but we actually haven't got that screenshot. This is a really, really big thing and a big talking point, because obviously that is one of the worst possible things that you could say in a situation like this. In any situation, it is absolutely criminal, and it should lead to very serious repercussions if true, but how she's presenting this whole thing is very confusing. This is Nor, I believe, saying this to JS, but it's like a lot of people have been misconstruing this or misunderstanding this to be DMs with actually Mattie themselves, but actually it's not that, and this is why it's so confusing, because I'm now seeing TikToks of hundreds of thousands of views acting like the screenshot is Nor speaking to Mattie, when it's not. It's JS speaking to Nor, and that's why this needs to be done in a different format, because this is going to lead to so much messy complications.
You mean like what you did with Amara? Anyway, yeah, then they mentioned the PR relationship.
Again, she's admitted that Amara was 18, but now Amara is also... What?
Thing, which is just like crazy. That's just that's such a bad PR move. Nor saying she has zero intentions of talking to Mattie. I said I have every intention of talking about this. I sent her some more proof, which we will get to, I promise. I said, quick question, did you have these texts? She's going skydiving. I said, I found so many old texts. I'm so scared. Mind you, I was always drunk at their apartment, and then she sent me some of these old videos where she is drunk at the apartment. And Mattie claims that they weren't physical. Oh, but these look really they just look so physical. They just look so physical with me. This isn't something that I would do.
Why, look, I don't want to come off like I'm dismissing what JS is saying here, and I understand it may be annoying that I've been so frustrated during this video, but it's like, these videos should have been shown an hour ago. We saw them on screen 10 minutes ago, and she didn't address them. And now finally we're getting here. And it's like, this is what I mean, that this should have been done in a scripted format, because this is such a slam dunk. Like, everything you're saying clearly about Noor is true. And the alcohol stuff is true. And Mattie has been proven to have been lying about the physical intimacy between Mattie and Noor. But it's like, because this has been such a mess, it's so like hard to work out what's true and what's not without like doing a big dissection of where I've taken, right now I'm an hour and 37 minutes into my recording. And it's like, I've had to go through so much to get to this conclusion, when this could have just been done in about a second of showing this. You could have started off the video by playing Maddie's video of them saying there was no physical intimacy. Play that video. Easy debunk, but it's taken so long to get here. And it's like, this is what I mean about taking these allegations seriously, because as much as JS is saying they're serious, I don't think they're being taken with the courtesy and respect that they should be taken with, by making the video that she's making here, by taking it so unseriously without providing it in the timeline that should have been. It's just become a bit of a mess, to be honest with you.
As a 20-year-old to a 17-year-old, but hey, whatever, okay.
Again, it's like, even with like saying the whatever, like, I know she's saying that it's bad, but she's like, oh yeah, I'm crazy, whatever, I guess. But it's like, no, that's like one of the biggest points in the whole thing. Those videos prove Mattie lied, but it's like, you're not even focusing on it. You're just going back to the text and just randomly scrolling through them.
Bro, the way everyone just ignored our virginity conversation. Why are you talking about virginity to a 17-year-old?
Again, absolutely disgusting to be doing that. Absolutely awful to be doing that. And it's like, why was this not shown earlier? This goes back to 2021. It wasn't like this was this big calculated plan from, that works over 5 years. This is the real proof that we're getting into here.
Hey, you want to come to my place? I'm literally at Dick's buying boxing gloves and wraps right now. I have my first training tonight. It's so exciting. They were buying boxing shit with me. They were with me texting Noor, but whatever. God.
The unscripted stuff here of just staring at the phone and scrolling and trying to find things. Like, the things exist, but it's like, why are you not doing? I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself here. It's just frustrating that the same thing is repeating, though, and I'm repeatedly having to call out this issue of, she has stood there scrolling. It's like, you should pre-plan this.
I think this is Mattie sending Noor their like thirst traps together, like the fan pages that people made. Hold, actually, they sent it.
Again, it's like, that's terrible. That's terrible. But why are you addressing it in this way? Just say, this is a screenshot of this person sending thirst traps between a 17 and a 20-year-old, and they're sending it to the 17-year-old. That's bad. That's terrible. But you're like, I don't know, like fleetingly going through your phone. It's like, oh God. Maybe it's just because I'm a commentary channel and my job is to typically go through these things in scripted formats, but it's like, oh God, I feel like anyone who makes allegations in a serious manner would usually treat it with courtesy and respect, but it's not. It's just not. And I'm having to repeat myself a million times.
Picture yourself as Noor. Oh my God.
I was like, look at that. She only has just found the evidence herself on her phone at the time of recording it. Show us.
The way I haven't seen these in years. I didn't see this before making the video.
And nothing is shown. See what I mean here? It's like, I'm sure there was something there. You showed us a brief screenshot, but it's like, you could, if you're saying that they're 17, so you don't want to show it, just blur them like that.
So this one, hold on, I put my phone away for some reason. There was this one girl who was 17 in 2020. Is a screenshot that I already posted, but let me pull it back up. You know, I actually sent these all to Avery Cyrus, which is exactly how Mattie got some of these screenshots. I'll get into it, I swear to God, but the fact that like Avery was like, is this true? And I gave them all the information to make their own judgment, and they just went, took all that, and sent it to Mattie. Fucking crazy. Lesbians, man,
What is being said? What this is such a mess. This is such a mess. Why have you made this messy? Like, it could, I'm sorry. You please don't get mad at me for being confused, because like, I've gone through this already, but even on a second time going through it, it's honestly worse on a second time viewing. Like, oh God, this is hurting my brain. And I've watched other YouTubers talk about this too. It's such a mess.
fucking hate lesbians. Okay. So
Great. I'm glad. Jeez.
this is in 2020. Mattie is 20. This girl is 17. Literally says here, like.
So we've gone through this screenshot before. I mean, she's like, in the context of what's been provided now, it looks a lot worse, and I will admit that. But in the way she provided the evidence earlier, it does not help. Like, you need to just provide things in the way of, you've got all this evidence, give it all out at once in a scripted format, man.
Hey, I'm down to hop on a Zoom call or FaceTime if you want. Oh, cool, I'll text you in like 20 minutes. Yeah, you know, I'm just 17, right? Like, I don't know how old you are. Yeah, don't worry how I'm good. I'm not that much older. That's crazy. It's so sad we can't meet in person because of the stupid pandemic. So this is middle.
Yeah, and in the context of that, that's really bad. Like, that is awful. Like, to given like what we know and like in context of all the things here, yes. But why was the context not provided when you originally gave us this screenshot? Like, why is this so? I'm not denying what's going on here with Mattie is bad. I'm just getting angry at how bad influencers are at providing arguments and just coherent responses to these things. Like, it happens so much and I'm so sick and tired of it. The amount of stupid stuff I have to go through to get to the actual point is just pure insanity. Like, we shouldn't have to be doing this. This should be a 20-minute video, not 43 minutes long.
They're asking you, hey, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 17. How old are you? And you don't reply with your goddamn age. You just say, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not that much older. Brother, ew, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I agree. That is disgusting, yeah.
I can't. Like, context of this one, they reached out saying, I have proof that Mattie texted me when I was only 17. I said, first of all, you don't have to send me anything if you don't want to. I read you saying that you're scared to come out about it. How long ago is it? Said it was a fat sec ago. This happened in 2020. I never came out about it because Mattie had such a big following. They were 20. I don't know if it's true. I don't know shit about them, but I told them I was 17, and they continued to reach out to me to ask to FaceTime and stuff. It was over COVID, so hanging out was like a no-go, but it was all just really weird. I can send you receipts off if I can get my old phone, which I'll try to do tomorrow. We just kept talking about it a little bit. They said, dude, don't apologize like you did nothing wrong. I can't imagine how confused and just awful it must be for you. Literally, here if you need anything. I sent her some texts that people have sent me just to like say like, hey, other people like are saying this too. It's not just you. And then they said that they couldn't get their old phone. They couldn't find it, but they did find the screenshot that they took when it happened because even back then, they thought that it was weird.
Again, I'm sorry to keep on saying it, but why did you not just make that statement that she just said there? Perfect. Absolutely fantastic. Why was that not your TikTok previously, where you provided the context of the messages, you've helped us understand what's going on there? Why did you not just do that in the first place? And that's why I'm so frustrated, because she clearly knows how to make the arguments and put things in an edited, a bit of a scripted way, like she just did in that section. But that's the first time we've had that in an hour and 44 minutes. What? Come on. Like, I'm glad we're here, but it's like, I'm more annoyed that it's taken this long. And this is why people are so confused. Like, at the beginning of this video, I go through like screenshots of people saying they're just confused in this situation of what's going on. And it's understandable because of stuff like this.
This one other person that I didn't know existed until just a couple days ago. I have some other people that have reached out. I was gonna like wait until they all sent their proof, but I really just want to get this out and going. So some people have sent some other similar stuff. Not identical, but similar. Again, these are just people saying what they had to say. But this person said, it was like 4 years ago, my cousin and I were hanging out, and she was showing me that Mattie was flirting with her, and we were like 13 at the time. Do I think that a 13-year-old can probably misconstrue a famous person texting them as flirting? Yes. Do I think that a famous adult should be texting 13-year-olds? No. Anyway, let's see what else we got.
Again, there's no evidence provided there. Like, she's not provided the evidence of the claim made. Anyone can message anyone and make these claims. This was a big problem during the James Charles allegations, of where there were very serious allegations made against James Charles, but there were also a load of random influencers being like, he did this, he did that, he messaged me here, he messaged me there, and it's like, there was no evidence. A lot of them were proved to have been lying, and all it does is it kind of just makes the water murky. It makes it hard to work out what's true and what's not true, and all it does, it provides a springboard to the person being accused of a way of them to I can't speak English, to successfully say, hey, this thing was a lie, this thing was a lie, why would this thing not be a lie? And it's like, yeah, that argument can be understandable to a lot of people out there, and by you showing that screenshot and that's all you're going to show, no proof of what they're claiming, I think that's just irresponsible. Even if it's true, there's no understanding of who that person is. There's no backing to what they're saying. It's just a random anonymous message, and I'm expected to believe it to be true. Unfortunately, I can't do that. People might get mad at that, but I can't just take that and run with that.
This person says, thanks for speaking up about Mattie. They messaged me too a few years ago when I almost turned 17. They never responded, so.
Again, you can't just show these things and there be no proof. Like, come on, people. Like, it doesn't work like that. I think allegations over the years have like kind of ebbed and flowed in how people take them so seriously. Some eras, people have seen like, oh, an anonymous Twitter account with no proof whatsoever said this about your favorite influencer and everyone believes it. Ridiculous stuff to do, by the way. There has to be a story, evidence, context, not just this person did this when I was 17. I'm shoving it in a video now. It's like, come on, you've already got proof of some weird things. You don't need to do this. You're just making the situation even more confusing.
I also had another person reach out being like, hey, is it weird that like Mattie liked a thirst trap of mine when I was 16? And like that's if that's proof, and it's not proof, you know, because like liking something.
Then why is it in your video? Like, again, no proof of it either in the screenshot, even though it did happen. Like, I don't know if that happened because you're not giving me a screenshot. I've just seen an anonymous message from somebody. I don't know if that thirst trap even exists. Like, come on, like there's no proof here. Why are we doing this in the middle of we're 20 minutes in? You've provided some good screenshots and videos that have proved your points about Mattie in some cases, but it's like, now you're just making things a million times worse for yourself.
On the internet is not the same as like actually privately messaging minors. Those are very different things. But good thing we got.
Look, I could just do this right now. Hey guys, Mr. Beast scammed me and he made my family go bankrupt and he's taking our house. He's doing everything terrible to me and you have to believe me because I'm saying it in a video. Want any evidence? Want any timelines? Want any proof? Want any context? No, that's not going to happen, but you've got to believe me. And it's like, come on. There is the argument of believing victims, but this isn't believing victims. This is believing an anonymous message from somebody who I haven't even seen a face for. That's not the same as believe victims. This is anonymous message with no context provided. I could make the argument that OnlyJayus is sending these messages to herself. Obviously, I don't think she's doing that, but at the end of the day, it's the same level thing. If I say, oh, she's sending these messages to herself, and you say, oh, well, no, there's no proof of that. Well, there's also no proof of these messages, you know, at all. Like, come on. We
have this person that said, Mattie and I went on 2 dates down in Huntington Beach, California. When I was 17, I thought it was so cool dating somebody older, but now I look back and I'm disgusted. I do remember Mattie hanging out a lot at the beach around.
Oh, God, Again, you can't use this in a serious video about allegations. This is called X called me a liar. Let's address it. You're going to be called a liar. You've provided proof for the alcohol stuff. It's enough. You provided proof for them having a physical, intimate relationship. That's enough. But this is unneeded. This is just going to make people not believe you.
On that time, like a lot, we had some friends that had like a bus. This is the one that makes my stomach turn, okay? So after a Zoom call with some fangirls that Mattie did address, we'll get to that, but they were in a big Zoom call, and Mattie reaches out to this one girl privately.
Okay.
I can't see what they were talking about before, but it goes...
Yes, and now this is like, all the other stuff, put it aside. We don't need to know that. This you have actual evidence for. This is a screenshot that says, that's so cute. Oh my God, stop smiling. I'm nice to you, but not that nice to you. Stop blushing and get your head in the game, loser. Ayo, I don't fear your expressions are priceless. GTFO, I'm so funny. Yeah, hilarious. Dee Michael Jackson. Like, what's being said there is creepy. Let's listen.
So cute. Oh my God, stop smiling. I'm nice to you, but I'm not that nice to you. Stop blushing and get your head in the game, loser. Ayo, laugh my ass off. Your expressions are priceless. Out. I'm so funny. You're hilarious. Tee Michael Jackson. Wait, dude, how old are you? This is the first green flag that we get from Mattie Westbrook so far. Yes, 18. Dude, are you not? No. 16? Y'all, this girl is almost 15. I don't know if you can do math. That means 14 years old. Said, shut up. Haha, you're a child. You are a child. Oh my God, holy Christ, no way. Okay, I just turned my camera for dramatic effect. So they're texting while they're on this like group call right now.
Yeah, the moment you get the text there from their 15, you stop texting them. You say, sorry, I've made a mistake. Goodbye. That's it. Done. Dunzo. Goodbye. Mattie has done wrong in this situation. They still continue the conversation. That is wrong. The conversation should end. The Zoom call should end. I just turned on my camera for dramatic effect. They're playing into a bit. They're acting like this is funny. While you're in a Zoom call with the average age of probably 20, I get that. It's like, come on. You like stop this.
Said, I take 18 as a compliment. I look younger. How the 18? Like, where did you get that from? Said, well, you're in a Zoom call with...
And even this person, yeah, the person in the situation is being like, how would you think I'm 18? Like, come on. Yeah, Mattie's in the wrong.
Average age of probably 20, so I got it from that. Well, yeah, a child? I'm adopting you?
This is so weird. This is terrible. This isn't... Like, Mattie is being proven to look weirder and weirder and weirder.
Christmas? Oh my God, thank you. Of course. Did you do your homework? Am I parenting right? Yes, but I don't know. I'm probably going to you up. You're going to have daddy issues. Uh-oh. Damn, okay.
There is no argument to be made right now. Mattie is definitely in the wrong here. Mattie is looking like an extremely creepy individual. And I'm glad we finally have confirmation. I'm just frustrated that it took us long to get here, but I need to clarify, of course, I'm against Mattie right now. Of course I am just against Mattie right now. This whole thing is just very frustrating because it's been handled so badly.
Never in my right mind would I be a 20-year-old telling a 14-year-old girl that
15.
I'm gonna f them up and give them daddy issues.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a
What are you
perfectly
thinking, dude?
perfectly
Like,
valid statement to make there. That is an absolutely bizarre and gross thing to say to somebody who is a child when you are an adult.
What are you thinking? Texting a minor that. And you're like, oh, but like they acknowledge that they're a child and they're gonna be in a parental role now. What are you talking about? You might think, oh, they must have stopped shortly after that, right? Right? No. My mom is an 8th grade teacher. They still eat their boogers. Oh my God, no way. To be fair, I was in the 8th grade last year, so I can't say anything. But at least I'm not in middle school. Good. Worst 3 years of my life. Yeah, middle school sucks ass. Why are you talking to a minor like this, dude?
Why is she still continuing with this conversation in general? Why is this continuing? This should not be continuing. You should have got the notification that they're 15, ended it there, apologized, blocked their number, left the Zoom call. They're continuing the conversation. There is no defense for this. And by the way, there is a defense that comes out later on, a rebuttal to all of the things being said in OnlyJayus' video. We will get into that. But alas, yes, this is not good.
Don't worry, I'll come back from the store with milk. They're gonna attack you for simping now. Hey, at least not everyone, I'm not the youngest out of everyone. The youngest is like 13 in 8th fucking grade. Literal child, no wait, oh my God. Now you're rushing. No, don't rush getting older there, bud. You'll miss it. Yeah, I know. I feel aged. Goddamn, you're 20, right? Yep. That's insane. But as old as fuck. I'm not gonna, there's no shit for a middle schooler cussing, but you're an adult. You're texting a literal freshman in high school right now, dude.
Yeah, and the argument that I imagine that's going to be made is, oh, it was a fan meetup and stuff like that. Why have you got the number? Why do you, like I said earlier, there's nothing like too weird about their 17 and like 20 having the same number because you may be in like the same like club, social club, something like that. But 15 years old and you have their number, what is going on? Let's be real here. This is absolutely unacceptable and absolutely wrong. So yes, valid points being made.
Start this off by saying that I never wanted to give any attention to the blatant lies that are being told about me right now, but I really cannot stay quiet any longer about the serious accusations that are being made against me.
Because you were being
I'm reacting to somebody reacting to a situation right now.
really quiet. You were being really quiet.
Yeah.
They are serious allegations, and you were being really quiet, but nice script.
But at the end of the day, the allegations that they're responding to here has none of the evidence that you've provided in this video. That's the frustrating part here. You've given them a slam dunk against you in this video because you've taken so long to actually coherently give some evidence, and it took you about 20 minutes of rambling to do that either way.
Absolutely everybody who waited for my response before coming to any conclusions about these accusations. The only reason I did not speak out about this issue sooner is because Bella, OnlyJayus, is someone who in the past has physically showed up to the place that I live and has previously threatened.
Because we dated for 2 years, you fucking weirdo. What are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, in those messages, she was being very, very wrong, in my opinion. The things she was saying, the way she was acting, you've broken up. Like, yes, you may be frustrated at the cheating, but there's also been things about like the possible physical altercations in the future and stuff like that. At the end of the day, Jayus, you were in the wrong there. Regardless of who Mattie is and how bad I think they are, you were in the wrong there, and there is no defense for that. Of course, it's very minute in comparison to everything else, but you were in the wrong, and I really don't understand the need to really get into it personally.
So they post some texts that I sent them, let's see, in February. So this is the very end of our relationship. Again, February 2023, end of our relationship completely. You can see why. I am unhinged. I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
We are experiencing in this what is clinically called reactive abuse. And nothing I said in here was okay. Okay? Let's just get that off the table. But hey, at least the things that I were saying that wasn't okay was to another adult. Right? You have minor allegations, and the first thing we're going to talk about is me saying, Mattie, if you don't call me back, I'm going to show up, which is something that we've done. If I didn't respond, you just showed up to my house. If you didn't respond, I just showed up to your house. So you're right. This was a very toxic relationship. What else? Answer the good phone.
So yeah, they've now made both allegations against each other that in the first place, Mattie said that they were both abusive. Jayus is claiming to be reactively abusive. At this point of time, it's just their word against each other. There hasn't been much evidence thrown around in that context. Of course, Jayus is about to get into that. But right now, I think it looks like an incredibly toxic relationship. And I don't doubt that there has been abusive behavior displayed on both ends. I don't don't really know the full context of what was going on in their relationship. And I know this may sound a little bit disrespectful, but I feel like that should be a separate video to what we're talking about right now, because that's a completely separate allegation. And if you are going to include both allegations, I think it needs to be done, again, in a scripted, coherent video of where, yes, you do take the emotion out of things because you get to the point and you allow us to understand the timeline of things in a very, very concise manner. I think that's very important because a lot of people are confused about this situation given how messy this video is. It's hard to really work out what's really going on. The average person that doesn't know the timeline and everything and what's been provided is going to be quite confused watching this video. I do this for a job and I'm confused.
After everything I told you, I could always just show up again. Sounds like my best shot at understanding the gravity of the situation. Don't act like you don't know. You must think I'm joking. Oh, this will be fine. See you soon, Mattie. I don't think I ever showed up. I was being really dumb. This was dumb. I should not have been... I should have just let it go. That's why I'm saying I feel embarrassed by this. It's really dumb. I feel dumb. But again, this is after 2 years of dating and after, months? Multiple months, 3 to 6 months of lying about being cheated on. And then...
Again, I just feel like the cheating stuff isn't really important right now. Like, I just don't think it needs to be mentioned. I feel like you're talking about a very serious allegation. You're alluding to a legal activity and you've shown a lot of evidence. At the end of the day, you need to keep that separate for its own video if you're going to be talking about your personal experiences with your ex. Like, you're going to make these allegations, that's fair enough. You're entirely welcome to do that. But this is just getting a bit messy now. Well, it's not a bit, it's a complete mess. I get that she feels this way. I do. And I'm not saying I'm sorry you feel that way, but it's like, when you're talking about other people's stories in the way you are, I think it needs to be done with more courtesy and respect.
Once you were telling, hey, I did cheat on you, you still were trying to be in my life, coming over. I remember I was on Hinge and they're like, don't you think it's a little soon to be on Hinge? You cheated on me. But okay. I'm just saying, you
again, sure, but this is for another time.
Have allegations of talking to minors, and the first thing you do, which I called, was going to be to flip it around on me. Okay.
And my physical safety. So yes, in 2021.
And no, to be fair, she is right in what she says there. Like, that is something true that Mattie has done. Rather than actually fully address the things to start with involving the allegations of 17-year-olds and stuff like that, they immediately tried to flip it on to OnlyJayus, which is terrible.
How did I threaten your physical safety? This was to a friend. I said, oh, if you see my cheating ex, can you slap the fuck out of them for me? This was a tiny ass girl that I was joking around with. Clearly it wasn't funny, but okay. That's threatening physical safety.
At the end of the day, it still looks bad on you. You were whether you were joking or not, at the end of the day, you were doing what you were doing, and it doesn't look good.
But Mattie, you better hope you never see my face again, because I swear you haven't seen crazy yet. You haven't. Go eat a dick and die. This is what people are saying, that I threatened their life. I threatened to kill them because I said go eat a dick and die. Come on, you guys.
Again, the criticism, based on the context we've been provided about your relationship, right now, I can see that they were both, I think Mattie was worse to Jayus based on the cheating stuff, but that's kind of the only thing we really have had any, actual proof for, and that's why I don't think this is necessary for this video.
If you see me at Coachella, run, because we bought Coachella tickets, and then we weren't going together anymore, so if you see me there, you better run, because I am coming up to you, and we are having a fucking conversation.
Again, it still doesn't look good.
I said we know it's what you're good at, because they were actively running. They were literally they came to my house. No, dude. Oh my God. The last time we hung out, I hate to admit this.
I'm going to skip until they actually get onto the next TikTok here, because this is just being this is a bit gossipy now. I get JS needing to respond to this, but I feel like it should have been done in a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 about the illegal stuff, part 2 about the personal stuff between them and Mattie.
But it was not the person from this screenshot, it was not Amara, and it was absolutely not anyone underage. I did eventually end up telling Bella what happened, when it happened, and who it was with. However, the lies that this person is currently spreading about me and my character are absolutely disgusting. They said that in this screen...
What's crazy here is they actually blocked out Olivia Ponton's name. This is important for later. Remember this. They blocked out Olivia Ponton's name.
Me and my character are absolutely disgusting. They said that in this screenshot, I was 21 having a relationship with somebody who was 17. Me and the person in this screenshot have never had a physically intimate relationship before or after she turned 18.
It looks very physically intimate to me personally.
In fact, since nothing happened between us, I thought we were on good terms, considering she reached out to me in 2023 just to check in and see how I was doing.
Because you
I have
stopped
reached
talking
out to her to let her know that
it's so physically intimate. Come on.
it did sting that she would instigate complete lies about me on the internet, but she never responded.
And she didn't respond to you because Nor didn't lie. You're no better than Nick, you fucking loser. Oh,
absolutely right argument to make.
Bella also claimed that in this screenshot, I was 21, providing alcohol to underage people. I was not 21 in this screenshot. I was 20. This is me at 20. This is me at 21. I also have no idea why Bella is lying that I met Amara when she was 15 years old. This never happened. I also never cheated on Bella with Amara, especially not when she was 17.
16. I'm so sorry. 16 years old. She was really young. I made a mistake saying 15. 16.
Again, the argument of she was 16, not 15, a fair argument to make. But based on what we've seen, Amara has claimed that nothing happened when they were minors, and as far as I know, nothing happened after that either. So at the end of the day, I don't really know why the Amara defense is still happening when JS has kind of admitted that she was wrong. She said that she was going to believe Amara, but now she's not believing Amara. Again, very confused about that, and that's why a lot of people are confused in this situation. Do you believe Amara or don't you believe Amara? It's kind of confusing.
In front of Amara in her
You are a
own
grown
bedroom
adult
from
who
March
can
of
provide
2023, which is over a month after Bella and I went complete no contact, and when Amara was already 18. This
Brother, there's overlap. We already proved it.
was also not my hoodie. We both owned the same Brandy Melville hoodie, and since I feel the need to
That's not the only proof I had. That was just the most visually stimulating.
clarify, Amara
That it's not an argument to make. I mean, the hoodie proof was stupid. It doesn't mean anything.
and I started dating on August 6th, 2023, and we hard launched on April 12th, 2024.
Hey, that's interesting. Wait a minute. What day was that? What day is that? Is that my birthday? Thank you for admitting it.
Amara and
Again, people, I don't really understand what, I guess the cheating thing, I don't really know. You got to structure this a bit better.
I are also both very confused why people would try and tell us when we started dating. Now,
Oh, I'm not trying to say that you guys started it. Yeah, I believe women. If Amara says 18, she was 18. I'm saying you're still weird for it. Waiting for somebody to turn 18, he's crazy. Especially since people were like assuming you guys were dating long before August. What are you talking about, dude? You're really trying to save your career.
to address the text screenshots.
And yeah, if she did genuinely wait until she turned 18, that definitely is weird. Well, it's wrong. Like, it is weird. It's waiting for somebody to turn 18 is absolutely disgusting, to be fair.
I would get on Zooms and FaceTime to play Among Us. I am well aware that Bella has screenshots of text conversations that I had with people in 2020 that I met through these Zooms. But I've never had an intimate conversation with anybody that I met on these calls, especially anyone underage. And I have proof that somebody who screen recorded a conversation we had in 2020 told Bella that we stopped talking once I...
That's crazy. This is like actually crazy. The fact that you're gonna call, like, you didn't even show the screenshots from this 14-year-old. You just showed this, like, you cut it off. You cut off this one part. And people, the crazy thing is people like this has worked. Mattie is more convincing. People have switched up on me. I already expected it. That's why I wanted to make this YouTube video, because I knew it was coming.
People
But
have switched up on you
like,
because you didn't provide much evidence at the very beginning. The stuff you provided now, great.
You can literally be like, I deny it. And everybody's like, well, they denied it. Not literally like thinking and looking at what they're showing you right now.
But again, at the time of Mattie making this video, like, not a defense, but like, just to give context there, Mattie was responding to about two different things of the hoodie and a couple of verbal claims that you made without backing any evidence, and you saying, I can't give evidence because TikTok are weird about it, wait until my video. It's like, at the end of the day, there's only so much they can respond to. They can only respond to what's in front of them. So it's like, yeah, people are going to believe Mattie at first because what they said provided more evidence at the time, like we went through earlier, and that's why I'm doing this in this way, so we can understand the thoughts and feelings of how people have felt during this entire situation and saga.
These lies are some of the most disgusting things you can say about someone. In my entire life, I have never been physically intimate or tried to be with absolutely anybody underage.
We know that's a lie. We know that's a complete lie. There's videos right there.
The person trying to spread lies about me right now is not a trustworthy or credible person. This is somebody who has lied in the past and will continue to lie. And I know that from witnessing very personal experiences with them. To anyone who's been in a situation with an abusive ex-partner, you can understand how hard it is to speak up when you feel like your physical safety is in danger.
Now we're doing like, now if you or anybody you know has experienced, like, hold on. Yeah, I hope you know that when I kill myself, it's because of you. That wasn't okay to say at all. And you know what? I already said that they said the same thing. So like, it was a toxic relationship. There's no denying that.
Yes.
But that's what you're saying. It's like, well, they wanted to die because of me, so clearly they must be lying and not telling the truth.
I strongly urge anyone in a similar situation to reach out and get help. You are not alone. And I cannot express enough how grateful I am to the people who have stuck by me and stuck by...
You know what, you're right. If you have experienced something like this, definitely reach out.
...by my truth during this time. I also can't speak any further on this specific situation because my legal team has gotten involved. Thank you.
Get them involved, Mattie. Get your legal team involved. I already said I would love to show a judge all of these. It's actually crazy.
So yeah, that basically is kind of the ending section of all the evidence that's been shown about Mattie. And overall, I think that at this point of the timeline, JS is definitely... overall, I still think right now that JS is overall in the right about Mattie. I think, unfortunately, as I've argued about a million times at this point, it's not been done in the manner that you'd usually expect it to be done in. I feel like a Google document would be better. I feel like a YouTube video where you script yourself would be better. Because when she first spoke about making a video, I think a lot of people kind of expected it to be a scripted, well-edited video that wasn't a bit of a mess where she is still looking for the evidence in her own video. But when she does eventually get to the evidence, I definitely think that, yes, it helps her argument completely. And I think right at this point, all I can really say is, yes, Mattie very, very much looks like they are in the wrong right now. And that, of course, has now led to Mattie themselves putting out a response a few days after JS's response in a much shorter 13-minute long YouTube video. And it's all about the lies. The lies stop here, according to Mattie Westbrook. Let's just get into
I want
it.
to start this video by saying thank you for coming here and listening to my truth, because you did not have to. But with that being said, let's get started. So Bella, OnlyJayus, has gotten on the internet within the past couple weeks and made extremely severe accusations against me. So in this video, I'm going to be taking accountability while also shutting down the completely heinous lies.
Never a good thing to hear somebody say, I'm taking accountability in a video about serious allegations.
That they have tried to spread about me. Initially, Bella started posting TikTok videos filled with lies, so I made a response, and I still stand by every word I said. Bella then posted.
But your response wasn't good. But at the same time, in fairness to Mattie, there was, as I said, there was they could only respond to what was in front of them. Now there's more to respond to. Let's continue. By the way, as well, I think this is how JS should have done their response, 13 minutes long, and it's actually clipped up and cut out into a way of where it's quick and concise to consume.
45-minute long YouTube video in response to what I had to say. And most of what I said in my first video did cover a lot of what Bella had to say in their YouTube video. So let's break this down.
That's not true. That's a lie. You only responded to about 2 things, and the majority of your response is basically saying that you had a horrible relationship, which may be true, but at the end of the day, in regards to the serious allegations that were made, it doesn't really change anything.
Thank you so much to absolutely everybody who waited for my response before coming to any conclusions about these accusations. The only reason I did not speak out about this issue sooner is because Bella, OnlyJayus, is someone who in the past has physically showed up to not know how to communicate with. So while I was at an extremely low point in my life in November of 2022, I kissed somebody else. I want to preface this part by saying that Bella has acknowledged me cheating in the past around 3 years ago. So yes, while Bella and I were in a relationship, I kissed someone else. That was wrong, and there are absolutely zero excuses for it. And in their initial video, when they told the internet that I cheated on them, never once did they mention Noor, never once did they mention Amara, and never once did they mention minors.
Today is the 4-month anniversary of this shitty fucking.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't really change much at the end of the day. It just means that back then they weren't willing to talk about this story. Like, at the end of the day, subtly acknowledging something happening but not going into the full details 3 years ago, but then going into the full details 3 years later, doesn't necessarily mean that what they were saying did not happen 3 years ago. It just means that they waited a long time to speak about something. Like, that's a pretty common thing, to be honest, of when somebody goes through a breakup. They don't go through the details immediately. They may go into some things, but then years later they will actually start to really get into stuff. So yeah, it doesn't really change much in my personal opinion. I don't think this is a good argument.
Roller coaster I've been on of being broken up with and not being told why. In that time, I eventually did learn the truth. I got cheated on. Before I go into this, though, I just want to say, do not go and send hate to anybody. No internet dogpiling. It's not fair. This whole situation isn't fair, but like, I've been through that, and it's a nightmare that I would not wish on anybody, especially somebody that in a very fucked up way I still love.
That video.
I mean, yeah, they're saying it's a very effed up way. They're saying it's messed up. They're very upset. At the end of the day, I feel like that video only gives more backing to what JS was saying about their breakup, which, by the way, I don't know why the breakup and cheating is still really that big of a deal in this situation. Like, we should be talking about the serious things. I know that the reason they're saying it is because they said that Noor wasn't mentioned, but like, I don't really think that really matters in this context.
Is from 3 years ago. Bella just now got on the internet 2 weeks after me and Amara posted our breakup announcement, and only then started mentioning minors.
Did you cheat?
But we've seen screenshots from 2021 with so many different allegations and so many mentions. We've seen conversations between Noor and Mattie. We've seen the screenshots with you and the 15-year-old. And I'm sure you're going to get into that. But at the end of the day, like, just because it wasn't mentioned in a TikTok, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Cheat on your ex-girlfriend? No! I got cheated on with a minor and y'all still support them.
This is not something that Bella has been talking about for a long time. These are lies that they added on to their initial story. So now let's talk about Noor. They said that in this screenshot, I was 21 having a relationship with somebody who was 17. Me and the person in this screenshot have never had a physically intimate relationship before or after she turned 18. In fact, since nothing happened between us,
This is a lie. I really wonder what they're going to say.
I thought we were on good terms, considering she reached out to me in 2023 just to check in and see how I was doing. I have reached out to her to let her know that it did sting that she would instigate complete lies about me on the internet, but she never responded. The video that I'm about to show, as well as a couple clips that Bella did use for their YouTube video, have been on the internet for 5 years. Noor and I met when I first moved to LA in 2021, and so on June 16th, 2021, I posted this video of me and Noor. Looking back, it is wildly irresponsible.
Oh, God, immediately as well, by the way, just a complete bollocks there. Notice how they cut the video there. Firstly, saying in your original video that nothing physically intimate happened, this alone is physically intimate. There is no defending what's going on here. But secondly, notice the cutting here of what they're about. They cut away just as Mattie kisses the head of Noor. They cut away from that, which I think is very deliberate and very deceptive because Mattie didn't want to show that to their audience. And that is very deceitful.
Wildly irresponsible and incredibly stupid of me to be making these videos with somebody when they were 17 and I was 20. And in regards to...
It's not just videos. You were having physical interactions with them. This isn't like you were acting in a movie or something like that. But even then, that would still be weird in a movie. But regardless, you were making these things on TikTok. You were doing these videos. That doesn't mean that it's like fake. It happened. You did it. We've seen it. You've kissed. We've seen it. You can't deny it to us. We've seen the TikToks. The evidence is literally quite there. And whilst it was provided in a really bad way, it does still exist. And we have seen that.
My initial video,
I mean, honestly, the one argument I thought Mattie may go with here is like the age gap argument of, oh, it was only 3 years or something like that. Technically, it is still illegal well, not technically, it is still illegal in LA. But at the end of the day, they're just going with the outright denial, which is, in my opinion, insane.
will always stand on the fact that absolutely nothing romantically intimate or physically intimate...
So you kissing her on the head, you kissing her... That's not physically romantic. That's not that. What? Also, the physical wording here again of, oh yeah, nothing physical happened. Like it's not just, oh yeah, nothing happened. It's, oh, only physical. Even though we've seen the physical things that have happened, you just showed us proof. Even with you slightly cutting it, it still doesn't look good.
Happened with Noor, even though making those videos was an extremely poor judgment. I also do want to take the time to clarify here that in my initial video, when I said that I was 20, not 21, I was not saying that to try and justify my behavior in any way. I was not 21 in this screenshot. I was 20. This is me at 20. This is me at 21. I said that because Bella has been lying and saying that I was buying alcohol for people who were underage.
Mattie would provide alcohol to these TikTok teenagers in the building.
In her
You were a
own
grown
red
adult
from
who could
March of
provide alcohol.
2023. So since I was 20 at the time, I could not buy alcohol for people who were underage because I couldn't even buy it for myself. Now, in my final regard...
It's a fair argument to make, but at the end of the day, you were still going to parties with people where they were providing alcohol and you were happy to stand by them. So to be fair, like, whilst JS has been caught in a lie there, I think at the end of the day, based on what I've seen, it more seems to be the argument was there were parties where a 20-year-old was with a bunch of 21-year-olds and they were also all having alcohol together and there were 17-year-olds there. Now, obviously, that technically isn't Mattie providing alcohol, but at the end of the day, you are still drinking with another 17-year-old. Now, that's a debate I'll leave for you guys. Personally, I still think it is weird. I was drinking at 20 years old, not with 17-year-olds, because that would have been weird. I would have been in my second or third year of university, and at that point in the UK, you would have been in your at the end of your first year in college, I believe. So no, I can't really take this argument. Yes, JS should have presented it in a different way, and you could technically say JS has lied, but this comes down to what I was saying earlier of I think JS does a really, really bad job at providing her arguments.
In the North situation, I'm going to let Bella discredit and contradict one of their main claims all on their own.
Didn't you cheat on your ex-girlfriend? No! I got cheated on with a minor and y'all still support them. Remember when you posted this while we were dating because you didn't want people to know about me? When Mattie posted all these weird videos with some other girl, I just left LA for like a week. I went to Florida to go visit some other girl I was talking to. Get out of LA.
Right. Moving on. Now, in this next one, I'm going to prove Bella is lying about Amara and my relationship.
Hey, that's a cool jacket. But why are you giving it to this teenage girl that we met together just a few days after staying at my house?
The proof that they have is from a screenshot of me in a red hoodie from December of 2022 and a screenshot of Amara in her own red hoodie from March of 2023, which is over a month after Bella and I went complete no contact. And when Amara was already 18. This was also not my hoodie. We both owned the same Brandy Melville hoodie. I also have no idea why Bella is lying that I met Amara when she was 15 years old. This never happened. In fact, Bella admitted to lying in their YouTube video, but then went on.
I did originally say that we met Amara when she was 15, and you're gonna have to forgive me for that because the math is wrong. She was 16. I remember meeting her at this, like, it was like a Spotify podcaster event.
Bella and I went to a Spotify event together on July 27th, 2022. But do you know where Amara was during this time? In the Sequoias. These are pictures that Amara sent me herself from her camera roll. She was not at that Spotify event. Also, since this is a massive point of contention, Amara has publicly stated multiple times that her and I did not become friends.
I have made a few comments already. Mattie and I became friends after I turned 18, after starting dating in August of 2023, 6 months after I turned 18. My whole story is that Mattie and I didn't even start dating until we were 18. So yeah, this completely debunks everything. And by the way, we already knew that the Amara thing was a lie, but this is my frustration here, because we have like two allegations. One of them has been disproven. The other one has not been disproven. And the Amara thing is really weird because JS in her video admits at the beginning that she was wrong, but then still pushes it despite saying that she believes Amara and believes all women. But at the end of the day, she clearly doesn't, because she was still harping on for it for the rest of her video and trying to push that Mattie and Amara knew each other when Amara was below the age of 18. So yeah, I don't think this is a bad point by Mattie here. And if anything, it's probably the best point they make in this video. It outright disproves everything. But at the end of the day, it still is, we still haven't got into the alcohol stuff. We still haven't got into the stuff with Noor, but the video is still halfway done. Let's get into it.
Friends or start dating until after she turned 18. Now to address all of the screenshots that Bella has used as evidence against me. First, in this screenshot, where someone is 17 and then asks how old I am, there's absolutely no inappropriate conversation being had here. I was 19 in 2020, brand new to accepting myself.
Again, that is true, and that's what I said at the beginning of when that screenshot was first presented, but when we actually saw the context of Noor, it definitely does seem a lot weirder, but at the end of the day, I don't think that screenshot, regardless, is that damning of a thing.
Into the queer community, and I was legitimately just trying to make friends. Now I cannot begin to express how absolutely wild it is that Bella used screenshots as evidence against me of people in their DMs with absolutely no response, no proof, and zero follow-through when Bella asked them for more information.
And I completely agree. This part as well is genuinely insane. Like, this is absolutely, like, borderline criminal. I mean, it's not borderline, this is slander. Like, what JS is doing here, if she goes in a lawsuit against Mattie, I'm sorry, regardless of what you think about Mattie, I think Mattie's weird. I think Mattie is weird. I still think Mattie will win the lawsuit just based on this section alone. This is bizarre.
4 years ago, my cousin and I were hanging out, and she was showing me that Mattie was flirting with her, and we were like 13 at the time. Do I think that a famous adult should be texting 13-year-olds? No!
Because that's a lie. That never happened.
This person says, thanks for speaking up about Mattie. They messaged me too a few years ago when I almost turned 17.
That's a lie. No, I did not.
We have this person
I've seen people in the comments section be like, you're not providing any evidence to disprove this. I can probably find the comment here. Okay, the comment has been deleted, to be fair. I've tried to scroll through, but I actually couldn't find the comment that was pointing it out. But at the end of the day, what's being said, yeah, you can't use these as proof. But also at the same time, I think the one thing that a comment really did point out is that at the end of the day, no matter what, Mattie has been very, very weird in those, not just weird, just disgusting in those videos with Noor. There's no way to deny them, and Mattie in this video has pretty much deceitfully edited the video to make it look not as bad as it is, but even then, it still is terrible. So regardless of what's being said here, I think JS has done terribly with these responses, because this is only going to get her sued for slander, but also, Mattie, this doesn't really disprove anything, and I honestly, no matter what, based on your handling of the Noor situation, there's no way that I'm going to be on your side.
that said, Mattie and I went on 2 dates down in Huntington Beach, California. When I was 17, I thought it was so cool dating somebody older, but now I look back and I'm disgusted. I do remember Mattie hanging out a lot at the beach around that time, like a lot. We had some friends that had like a bus.
Not only was that a lie, because that never happened, I went through my camera roll because I take pictures everywhere I go. And I've never even been to Huntington Beach.
I also had another person reach out being like,
That's what I mean. Like, it's so easy to disprove. Why would you even bother putting it into your video, JS? Why would you do this?
hey, is it weird that like Mattie liked a thirst trap of mine when I was 16?
They spent a full 3 minutes reading these and feeding into the baseless lies. Do you know how many people would make up lies?
And this is exactly kind of what happened with James Charles. James over the years has had multiple allegations made against him, but most of them have actually been fake. But that doesn't change from the fact there have been, well, not a lot, but quite a few real allegations made against him. But unfortunately, that has then enabled James to be like, oh, look at all of these fake allegations. There was an article years ago where he basically did that, or the author of the article did that. And it really does allow these people to continue doing what they're doing, because no one will take the actual real allegations seriously. And unfortunately, that's what's happening right here.
To message a popular content creator, because I guarantee you it's more than you think. Now on to these texts. The context to this is that I was on a Zoom call playing Among Us with people whose average age was 20. And me and a person from this Zoom call ended up messaging. And as you can see, when I asked how old they were and they told me, I freaked out, and for some idiotic reason, I tried to make a joke.
That's not an excuse. You should have ended it there. You found out that they were a child. And also, again, how I really want to know, how do people not realize that they're on calls with children? And also the way they're talking as well. Like, even the person in the text, as we saw earlier, was confused that they didn't realize that they're a child. I don't really get that. Now, maybe playing Among Us with a child on like a live stream, like, I don't know, you invite your fans on, stuff like that. That makes sense, but why do you have their phone number? That's what I'm confused about here. And then you progressed with the conversation. It makes no sense. You shouldn't have progressed with the conversation, especially with the daddy issues comment. There is absolutely no defense to that whatsoever.
Deeply regret sending that text message. I should not have been using that language.
Well, at the end of the day, like, you keep on providing evidence that only proves that you're a creep. Like, at the end of the day, we've seen this, we've seen the TikToks that you deceitfully edited. It's not looking good. It's really not.
He was younger than me. I should not have said that. And as you can see from this screenshot, that Bella absolutely refuses to acknowledge, this same person who screen recorded our entire conversation that Bella read out loud in their YouTube video is clearly stating that I stopped talking to them after I found out how old they were. I also do want to take a second.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. That is a fair thing to say. But at the end of the day, you still did continue in that conversation. You were still speaking to a 15-year-old. You still had their number for some bizarre reason. And even after they let you know that they were 15, you continued in this very weird way. Maybe if this was like a one-off and there wasn't a deceitfully edited TikTok at the beginning of your video, I could understand that. But at the end of the day, there's a deceitfully edited TikTok at the beginning of this video. And whilst I think JS has done so much wrong, if we're talking about this argument about Noor and you inappropriately acting with people below the age of 18, I think it's kind of hard to deny, you know? I think it really is hard to deny. But yeah, it only continues.
Tim and I were not friends. We met on a Zoom call in 2020 and had one conversation, and then we stopped talking. That's not friendship. And in Bella's YouTube video, they decided to say this. And I have proof that somebody who screen recorded a conversation we had in 2020 told Bella that we stopped talking once I...
That's crazy. This is like actually crazy. You just showed this, like you cut it off. You cut off this one part.
Of course, I wanted to show this one part. It's the most important part. It proves that I had absolutely zero intentions of flirting with this person and that I stopped after I found out how old they were. Also,
I mean, you didn't. That's a lie. We saw you continue. But also, again, JS is in the wrong here because she's provided the context but also presented it in a very, very poor way where it does seem that she is deliberately just trying to misconstrue evidence and manipulate her audience into thinking in a certain way. I think that's kind of what the most confusing part about this situation is as I've said that, who's in the wrong in this situation? Well, it kind of feels that they both are. Mattie, I think, is more in the wrong, but overall, I think they've both done very, very wrong in this situation.
All of these texting screenshots from the two people who could prove to Bella that they did have my old phone number. Not one of them told Bella that I was attempting to have an inappropriate conversation with them or that I was pursuing them romantically at all, because I was not. And I will reiterate this until the day that I die. Never in my entire life have I ever attempted to have an intimate or romantic relationship with absolutely anybody who is underage. And if you go...
Then what are these videos that you talked about at the beginning? Like what were the videos that what were they? We saw you kiss someone below the age of 18. You can say this, but we've seen you do that. And what? Is it because it's a TikTok it just didn't happen? I'm sorry. If any other person made a TikTok of them kissing a 17-year-old when they're above the age of 18, if they're 20 years old, people will make the argument about the age gap thing, but you can't just deny it happened because at the end of the day, it's happened. Just because it's in a TikTok doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I mean, maybe you didn't have a relationship, but you've definitely interacted in a physical way.
You go back to Bella's video, they're mostly just talking with absolutely no proof to back up what they're saying.
And yeah,
so
that's
if there's
true.
Something in Bella's YouTube video that I haven't addressed, it's because they didn't have any proof to back it up. So now let's do a little recap of
A fine point to make that I've already made.
Bella's lies and how they've completely contradicted themselves almost every single time. Bella says I cheated on them with a minor.
I got cheated on with a minor.
Used Amara as an example.
Hey, that's a cool jacket. But why are you giving it to this teenage girl that we met together just a few days after staying at my house?
I disprove that entire timeline. The proof that they have is from a screenshot of me in a red hoodie from December of 2022 and a screenshot of Amara in her own red hoodie from March of 2023, and then admits that she was 18.
Amara has said that she was 18. And you know what? I believe women. If Amara says that she was 18, then Amara was 18.
So Bella lied about all of that. Then they used Noor as an example.
Remember when you posted this while we were dating because you didn't want people to know about me? When Mattie posted all these weird videos with some other girl, I just left LA for like a week. I went to Florida to go visit some other girl I was talking to. Get out of LA.
And even though nothing happened between me and Noor, and I already acknowledged that the videos that Noor and I were making, it wasn't cheating because Bella and I were not in a relationship. So that was a lie.
But you've already admitted to cheating. I guess it maybe... Okay, so the claim is that they didn't cheat with a minor. That's the claim that's being made. If that's true, regardless of what they're arguing here, because they both don't necessarily seem to have the evidence to back what they're saying, at the end of the day, you kissed a minor in your video. You did. Like, you can't deny it. And this is why I say they're both in the wrong, because there clearly is a very toxic dynamic between Mattie and JS, and they're both throwing so much shit at each other. It's hard to work out what's right and what's wrong. And that's why so many are confused in this situation. Unfortunately, no one is in the right here, but they've both done bad.
And then they go on in their YouTube video and they admit to knowing the entire time that they knew who the adult was that I kissed.
December is when Mattie admitted to cheating on me with that like adult. They blamed my parents' divorce and they blamed the stress of meeting Joe Biden.
I also never said that. That's ridiculous. And we have to remember who the source is here. Bella has been the source of hatred and controversy for years now.
And that kind of brings us to the ending of this video, to be fair. They kind of go more into they both make claims about how their relationship was terrible. One was abusive, the other was abusive. And at the end of the day, like, I think that is very serious, but it's kind of not the main point of today's video. And I think what we've seen from Maddie's response, what we've seen from JS's response, is these two are both incredibly toxic people. JS has made a lot of lies about Mattie, but Mattie has also lied by deceitfully cutting up videos. And at the end of the day, those videos are probably the most important piece of evidence in all of this, because it does prove the things about Noor, but the other things as well. I don't understand why JS has thrown in so many random allegations with no proof whatsoever. And JS can make the argument and get angry at people for not believing them, but you've time after time and after time not provided enough evidence to really back these things. You can't get frustrated at us for saying, I can't believe a random message from an anonymous account who I don't know who that is. You could have sent that to yourself for all I know. So yeah, at the end of the day, Mattie and Jayus are both in the wrong, but I do think Mattie has definitely done more in the wrong in this situation. It's I guess it is based on your own opinion, but how she acted with Nord is very weird, and her deceitfully editing the clip, in my opinion, is even weirder. Now, the comments themselves also seem to be very confused. They say, why are you not saying anything about Nick? Which again is a very true point that was not addressed. The alcohol thing was basically just completely skimmed over. Nick, the friend of Mattie, just completely disappeared. But it is very, very confusing. Someone says, now I'm confused on what physical intimacy is because she's saying that she never did that with Nord, but doesn't kissing count? Like, hello? Exactly. It is literally, like, they're not wrong. They're bang on the money there. Someone says it's giving toxic gossip train. Someone says 40 minutes versus 13 minutes. I don't think that's a valid argument to make, because at the end of the day, this video was more concise and better than Jayus's. It actually provides a lot of arguments in a much more concise way. Length doesn't necessarily mean quality. Just look at this video. Lying and getting evidence are not the same. Lying is on purpose. She simply got the evidence wrong.
Because the math is wrong. She was 16. I remember meeting her at this, like, it was like a Spotify podcaster event.
Bella and I went to a Spotify event together on July 27th, 2022. But do you know where Amara was during this time? In the Sequoias.
Again, you can say that, like, oh, they got the age wrong by mistake. It wasn't 15, it was 16, but they literally just proved that that's a lie. So, like, this is what I mean. Jayus has not helped herself in any stretch of the situation here. Every single part, nearly every part, she's made herself out to be wrong. And then there's a video that Jayus uploaded the other day, which, as you can say, says, I'm not sorry.
If you guys see a video of me flipping off a car, it's because I just saw the gayest thing in WeHo, which is like the gay street in LA.
So yeah, it's nothing to do with Mattie, and it just like, it doesn't address anything. I think it's like, it's bait. It's meant to look like it's a response, but it's not. Somebody says, when will you be speaking about Maddie's video? Why would I respond to gaslighting? I'm sorry, but you've been caught out on multiple occasions. Like, people are in war about this right now, but somebody says, do we think it's healthy to respond to gaslighting? Like, yeah, they skim over a lot and don't address everything. That's also true. I'm going to end this video by saying two people can be wrong in a situation. I think that's very, very clear, that Mattie has done bad things, really bad things, but Jayus has also done bad things. And I'm not trying to play a fence sitter here. I don't usually ever do that. But what I'm doing is saying that I've observed all the evidence. I've gone through the timeline chronologically, and I can understand why people are so confused, because usually in a situation like this, one is in the wrong and one is in the right, but ultimately they're both in the wrong. You can determine which one's more in the wrong, but at the end of the day, they've both done really, really bad things. I don't get why it's been handled in this way by Jayus, but also Mattie has deliberately and deceptively edited the video in the way that they did. It's terrible, but at the end of the day, this is just a mess. It's a complete mess, and I doubt it's going to end anytime soon. And I imagine there's going to be more and more responses that come out as more pressure gets put on Jayus and more pressure gets put on Mattie. But at the end of the day, I'm going to conclude my thoughts by saying this has just been a complete and utter mess, and at times hard to take seriously. And I would implore TikTokers and influencers to realize these allegations aren't just a joke, aren't just the sip of the tea this week. It's actually a very, very serious thing that can alter people's lives and should be treated with courtesy, respect, and nuance, which I don't think has happened in this situation. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts down below. I understand this may be a little contentious, but at the end of the day, this is a very serious situation, so it would be weird if it wasn't. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Please let me know where you think I've got something wrong, something right, or something like that. I don't really care. Or you are entitled to give your opinion. Just let me know down below. And yeah, please like this video, please comment stuff, and subscribe. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you in your next one. Let me know if you like this format down below as well, because it is a bit different to a regular video. It's like half scripted, half not. It works. See you later. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.